Hello guys, thanks for joining me for Friday Night Craft with me. I'm so excited to get some crafting time in this week. As you guys know, it has been a very busy week. So I am looking forward to the crafting and relaxing part of my week. So thanks for joining me. We're going to work on pockets today, specifically pockets for the Italian Ladies Junk Journal. It is kind of a random craft, I guess. Like whatever I'm making tonight, you guys could apply to any kind of journal that you would like to, make. It doesn't have to be specifically for the Italian Ladies Journal. That's just the series that we're making right now. So that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. I see Helen and Sharon are here. It has occurred to me that I did not even bother to share this to the Facebook group. So pardon me for a minute while I go ahead and do that. We need to calm down a little bit. There's always so much going on, and I always forget to share my own things. I'm not really good at self-promotion. Like it just doesn't come like naturally to me. So give me a minute. I'll share it to the Facebook group. Hopefully that helps people get notified. I know it takes a few minutes for YouTube to notify people that I'm live. So let me just do that quick because I know a lot of people wait for me to post it onto Facebook. I'm not going to do like the whole thing. I'm just going to do it quick. So there won't be much said other than a link, but it's better than nothing. Hello, Tonda and Brenda and Lacey Jane and Joanne is here and Faith Ann and Sandy. Hello, hello. Okay, I've shared it. Let me post this back over here and then we'll be good. We're so close. Oh my gosh, one of these days I'll actually be organized for something that I am doing. I try really hard, but all day long stuff just escapes me and then it's really hard to catch it up. Okay, there, it's posted. Yes, it's posted. So anyway, hello Kendall, hello Christy. Faith Ann, I think I said hello, but if I didn't, hello. So guys, we're gonna make crafty things tonight. We're not gonna do drama tonight. I'm so looking forward to just doing crafty things. Pockets. I want to make, I'm hoping to get 12 pockets made so that I can at least have pockets for one of the 3 junk journals. That's pretty much what I want, what I think I'm going to make tonight, like just pockets. If I get sidetracked, then we'll see how it goes. But that's the goal for tonight, 12 pockets. Note, I said on Tuesday they will not come out until sometime before Monday. So I know it's Friday, but I also have had a doctor's appointment for either me or my son every day this week. So probably wrap that up over the weekend. Not probably, I am anticipating wrapping that up over the weekend. So you should have an invoice sometime before Monday to your email address. When you get the email with the invoice, you just click it and you pay it. You don't go to Square, you don't make an account in Square, you don't do any of that. You will literally click the invoice that is sent to your email and you pay it. It prompts you. It's very intuitive. Like it prompts you, okay, like enter your shipping address, enter your payment information or select your payment method. And then you just pay it and it's done. And then once I get notification of payment, things will ship. If you're paid, if the invoice comes out and you're paid up by Monday morning, it should ship on Monday because it will already be packed and your shipping label will already be done when you get your invoice. So as long as you pay your invoice when you get it, it will ship on Monday. If you wait or there's some kind of problem with paying your invoice, like some of the new people didn't know how, or they had questions, or I think they were trying to go to Square and register for an account. You don't do any of that. You literally just click the invoice that is emailed to you and pay it. So anyway, as long as you're paid up, it will ship Monday. If it's not, if it's not paid by Monday, then it falls into the next shipping cycle, whenever that is. The stuff is packed, but I have to be here home for the stuff to be picked up. It's too much to take to the post office. My post office is 30 minutes from me. So that's the situation with shipping. Normally it's not a problem, but I know we do have several medical appointments for my son next week also. One of them is in the morning on Tuesday morning, so forget to check your email like you. Yeah, that does happen too. And if you guys ever have a problem like connecting, a lot of new people, they don't check their email, or when they sent me an email, something happens, like they used one account that they don't normally use or something like that. But if you guys ever have a problem contacting me, I have a Facebook group. You can contact me in the Facebook group. Don't put a post up. Contact, if you're trying to talk directly to me, just message me in Messenger, or send me a private message. You don't need to put a post like, is there a craft with me tonight? Because if there is, I will tell you some manner of ways, right? I'm just saying that because I don't want the Facebook group to be all about me. And if we start like, you're talking to me in the Facebook group, it kind of looks like it's just always all about me, and I don't want it that way. I want it more about you guys. However, I am posting videos and things that I do in there. You guys are more than welcome to post videos and things you guys do in there. Christy loves her quilt. It is possible to hoard a quilt. I have 5 that I can see right now that I hoarded, and I didn't cut them up. One of them is scheduled to get cut up, but yeah, it's possible to hoard a quilt, of course. We can hoard anything we want to hoard, at least for a time, right? So back to communication. Facebook Messenger gets the fastest response. It's easier. Email, it gets buried with a whole lot of other things. Even in Messenger, it gets buried with a whole lot of other people's messages. Sometimes if I don't see your message right away, I might look at it the next time I have a chance, and that might be 1 o'clock in the morning, but I don't respond to you because I feel like if I dinged your phone, it might wake you up. So I try not to message people late, but I am in Arizona. So sometimes for me at like 8 p.m., that is 11 p.m. for some people. So all of that, just keep it in mind. Don't stress about whatever the issue is. We will work it out. We always work it out. Sometimes it takes time, and sometimes it takes like several attempts to get something communicated or worked out, but it always happens in the end. And I'm not stressed about it. If it takes you guys a couple of days to pay an invoice, I'm not stressed about it. If I don't hear anything from you guys and it's like a long time, then I might start to like wonder. A couple days will never impact me. Hello, Angela. She just walks by it and pets it. That's hilarious. Hello, Kim. Hello, Linda. Hello, Diana. Cheryl, hello. Cindy, hello. Lori B, hello. Welcome. Well, awesome, guys. Awesome. Looks like we're just about ready to get started. Now, hello, Wendy. Okay. I did print some things, so I am going to go grab those. Just so you guys know, if you want to go purchase these, or if you already have purchased these kits from Rachel, I'm going to tell you some of the kits that I'm going to be working with tonight and give you guys a chance right up front. If you haven't purchased them, maybe purchase them, or you have them, print them out so that we could use them tonight. I'm going to be using, let me flip the camera down so I can show you. I'm going to be using this camera every single time. Literally every single time I turn it on, it has just adjusted itself however it felt like, which is always super, super fun. Anyway, this is part of the kit that you all should have received printed. There was a couple pages, 2 pages or something like that, of the ladies, and all the kits, everybody's pages are different. I just printed them randomly every time. So you might get a different marble. You might get different ladies. It is whatever it is. Variety is better than all the same, in my opinion. So we're going to be using those today. And then I have an extra one of these. So if you didn't use this for the cover, we are probably going to use that. And then I have, these are the ones from Rachel. I have her labels. Lots of you guys will already have these kits. Hello, Carolyn. These are Rachel labels. Roxy Creations is the shop I'm talking about. These are her Italian labels, and they come in different sizes. So I have printed an extra set of those so that we could decorate our pockets tonight. I may have printed them twice. I have no idea. These are her Italian ladies tags. And this set I just printed on my regular 28-pound printer paper. I'm going to use these to decorate some pockets with. Reason being is I do plan on using some of these tags as tags, but I think there's 8 pages of these tags in her Italian ladies kit, so I'm not positive. But I'm not going to use all 8 pages of 3 tags in one journal. So I'm going to kind of use some on pockets, use, some of the images on pockets. And then when I do put tags in the journals, I'm going to be careful. Like if I use this lady on a pocket, I'm not going to put a tag with this lady on it. You don't need to be that worried about it, but that's just generally how I like to do it. I don't like to use the same image, like exact image, more than once in one journal. It kind of seems repetitive to me when I do. I know these are basically similar to the pages, but they are slightly different. So the pages I'm not worried about, just the pockets and tags. So anyway, there is enough tags in the kit to where you'll be able to print the tags on copy paper and then decorate pockets with them, and then have enough tags left over to use as tags. So that's my plan with those. So those are the 2 kits from Rachel that I'm talking about tonight, the labels and the tags. So let me go grab the actual cardstock ones off of the printer. So these are the same tags, the same kit, but I've printed these ones on cardstock because these ones I probably will use as tags, or like I talked about last Friday, I think. I'm also going to use some of these as tucks. So we'll see that as I go. But anyway, so I printed some on cardstock, or the whole kit on cardstock, because I'm making 3 journals, right? I printed a whole set on paper, and I printed out the labels. If you do not have a printer and you don't have access to any of that, don't stress. We will be making plenty of pockets that do not use any of those things. And the first pockets or product we'll try to make will probably be with these, just because everyone already has those. I have super high blood pressure. I had coffee today. Hello, Karen. It is Roxy Creations on Etsy. That is Rachel's kit. Rachel is the owner of Roxy Creations, and she is the lady who graciously gave me permission to use her kit for my kit this time. Kendall. Yeah, she has beautiful kits. Yeah, so let's get started. I still think the lighting is just a tad bright here, and I cannot understand why. Every time I turn on the camera, it has decided, pardon my phone noises, it has decided to just do whatever it wants. It doesn't care. It just does whatever. I don't know. It just seems really washed out. Let me try one thing, pardon my reach. There we go. Oh, there we go. Maybe, I don't know. I think maybe my camera just literally likes to be like split personality, and one day it plays nice and one day it doesn't. I have blackout curtains in this room, so there is absolutely no natural light coming in. I use the same lighting setup every single time. Sometimes it is great, and like today, I'm just going to struggle with it. So we're going to leave it, and it's just going to be what it's going to be. Yay, Angela. I was so worried about folding. Yay. Angela has, I think, just the one sheet of paper. So we opted to fold hers. And of course, I asked her that first, but we opted to fold it and ship it just because shipping for one paper rolled was going to be astronomical. And I did order the boxes for the Italian paper next time around, so we should be good. Okay. let's get to cutting something. First things first, let's look at making a masterboard. I don't want to eat up all of our time, so I'm going to make a super fast masterboard, and this is what I want to use in the masterboard. I want to use everything that is not a lady or a frame in the printed. So if you have some of these printed, I think everyone pretty much has some of the printed marbled paper. I want to put that in a masterboard, and I want to put these other decorative papers in a masterboard with book page and music page. And I want to do it as quickly as I can because I hope to let that dry and then cut it up, and we'll use it for some pockets. If you have the Italian papers, you could certainly mix your Italian papers into the masterboard. Most of you guys know I already have a couple that are like that. Excuse me, now I have hiccups. I might put some of this in. We'll have to see before I, get too far ahead of myself that way. Let's just get this masterboard started. The masterboard, since it's going to be pockets, it doesn't have to have coffee dyed paper on the back of it. You want to use something a little more sturdy just because it's going to be a pocket. So if you're just putting like printer paper to printer paper that may or may not be sturdy enough for a pocket, just do your best and do what you think is going to make a nice pocket. For me, let's see, do I have a piece of 12 by 12 paper in here? If I had a 12 by 12, I would probably make this masterboard on a 12 by 12. It does not look like I have a 12 by 12 in here. I mean, I have a 12 by 12 of Braille, but Braille would not make a very good pocket. So, give me one sec. All of my supplies, so like, this is what I did with my supplies. I literally, for this journal, have just thrown absolutely everything into this bin. Like fabric scraps are in here, already made ephemera is in here. It looks like a hot mess. There's doilies and stuff. The journals themselves are in here. I didn't have time to organize, so all I did is throw everything in here. I'm thinking of using one of these pieces of cardstock just because I kind of want a 12 by 12 to cut up. I think I'm going to use this weird one only because it's single-sided and I wasn't like, it does kind of go, but I wasn't sold on it. So let's just use that one. I need to find a place to put everything. This room is too packed. Pardon my bin rubbing on another bin. So I left the book page pack out. Let's use that. And first thing, I'm going to cut the white off of these pages. For me tonight, I'm not going to use a tear ruler just because it eats up that much more time. These are pockets. It does not matter if you use a tear ruler, it doesn't. Personal preference and depending on how much crafting time you have. For me, I'm going to try to go quickly. I might use some of, no, I'm going to save that. I'm not going to use the little music because I think the pattern is going to be too small. And I have other music pages that I can use. So I want the marble ones and the end papery looking ones. And I know these are fairly small pieces, but I'm going to even cut them to smaller. And like I said, you guys probably don't have quite as many of these printed as I do. And it's because I just left whatever was extra in a pile. And now I'm using it. If you have any original, like old marble paper and you wanted to put that in a collage, that will make beautiful pockets too, like from end papers from books. And there are a lot of digitals out there of just scanned marble paper too. The cutting always takes so long, cutting or tearing or whatever you're going to do. Once we get these done, we'll be good. So then that will leave me a lot of ladies that I can use to decorate a pocket or put on a tag or something like that later. How are you guys? How was the rest of your week? The rest of my week was so-so. My son has, for those of you who know, my son has been very, very sick. So most of you guys know that. We finally got the results of his ultrasound of that big swollen lymph node in his neck. And it did need a biopsy. So we have that scheduled for Tuesday. So he's going to have his biopsy at the cancer center. And I'm sure we probably will not know anything that Tuesday, but I'm hoping that maybe later next week we might get results from that. And of course, you know, Mama is praying, so that's where I'm at with that. Everything else, you know, that was going on earlier in the week, I am trying not to talk about today because today's craft with me, and I don't want to go there. I just want to have a nice, relaxing craft with me. You guys will see. Let's do this. Separate all that out here in a minute. Let's see. I don't know if I need this. Let me see what we got. We got some yellows. We got some greens, and we got some marbles. So those are good. Now we need some book page. Book page. Because it's just a collage, it does not matter what kind of book page you use. I am looking for maybe something with a variety of color or tone. Like this is a pulpy paper, so it's not good to put into signatures, but maybe, I don't know, that might actually be too pulpy. It's just some regular text book page will be good. I don't think we want diseases of the eye in here. Let me see what else. These are not my book pages. These are book pages that I purchased from someone at some point. I could not tell you where. Someone at some point is as best as I can do right now. I'm looking for some music. I don't know if there is music in here. I just figured it might be easier. Plus, I need to use these up. These are all rag paper ones. They might be mine at some point. I couldn't tell you. There's some dictionary kinds. Okay. So I just need to find music paper. We can use that music paper. We're good to go. Thank you guys for your prayers. Thank you. Thank you. I need to turn this monitor so I can see, and I need to put some glasses on. Thank you for the thumbs up reminder, Angela. It does help out the channel, and it's really easy to do. You just click the thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So for this, all I'm going to use is a glue stick. I don't know if I have an open one or not. It doesn't really matter. I run through them fast enough. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like when I am crafting, I can sit down for just a couple of hours and easily use, 2 or 3 glue sticks. It's not like I'm wasting them. It's just, I don't know. It seems to go very quickly. I did use the Scotch Create years and years ago on some projects. It's a permanent glue stick. It's called Scotch Create. Sorry, I was picking up something off the floor. Permanent glue stick called Scotch Create. I know some people like it and use it. However, I was using it years ago, and I recently found some leftover ephemera, like in my undecorated ephemera, unfinished ephemera box. And all of the pieces that I made for Masterboards with Scotch Create, all of the paper is lifting up. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that is such a nightmare. So that was before I knew, whoops, see how fragile this paper is? That was before I knew about Oohoo glue stick. I have used Oohoo for years. However, I had to go back and use art glitter glue and glue down all those tiny little pieces of paper. So I am definitely not looking forward to doing that again. This is kind of nice paper. It's not rag paper, so if it was rag paper, I probably wouldn't use it right here in this project. You can. I just have a whole bunch of other papers that need to be used because in my signatures, I pretty much only put rag paper in there unless like it's a botanical book page or something else decorative. I'm just going to cut some pieces up in different sizes right now, and we will go from there. At least if I sit here and cut for a couple minutes, I'll feel like I at least have something to play with. I'm going to try some of this paper. It is very, very fragile and weak looking, but perhaps for collage. And I'm cutting the pieces kind of on the smaller side, maybe 2 by 2 or smaller, 1.5 by 1.5. And it's because I do want a little bit of variety. I can leave some bigger. I don't want it to be too busy, but I can leave some pieces bigger. So far I cut all the plain pages. Now I need these. And I think those, I'm just gonna cut into random sizes. I don't want to cut everything into small pieces because undoubtedly you will need some larger pieces. But at least I've got a start. So I don't know where I was. My son's getting that biopsy, and that's really all the news that I have as far as that goes. I don't have any other news either. I'm just saying. That's all I have for that. Okay, let's glue. Sometimes when I am trying to make a masterboard quick, I cheat and I just pick a corner, put that glue down, especially like today because I have pieces cut to size, and this is cheating. So you just go in and just fill it in as quickly as your glue, allows you to do. And we don't want everything the same direction or same size. And there will be a spot every time I do this. There is a spot that needs more. And you just gotta work your way to get to it. There's a spot, there will be a spot that needs a bigger piece is what I mean to say. I feel like that's covered, but so now we need a little one here and we can put something bigger there, and that's perfect. The one thing that I didn't get out is the botanical book page. Let me grab some botanical book page. I definitely want that in here. Somewhere in this bin it is. Somewhere in this mess. Well, at least I thought it was. Okay. Well, let me grab a new book then, because I don't know where the old book is. Luckily, the book was in the hallway from when Amazon brought it to me. These pages are thinner Not as good quality as the other book I have. Wow. That's terrible. This is the most recent one that I just got from Amazon last week, I think. And the pages are significantly thinner. Significantly. That's sad. The other one, the original one, was really, really thick pages. So, like everything else, they've changed it. Do you guys ever like go to a restaurant and you find a favorite like entree or dish or whatever, and it's your favorite, you love it, and then all of a sudden one time you go, it's not the same, they've changed it. I feel like that happens all the time to me. For the botanical pages, it doesn't matter to me whether they are, that will go right there. Doesn't matter to me whether I cut all the flowers off and then just have these little stalks of the stems. I will still use the stem just like I will the flowers. It doesn't matter in collage. Stick work as good as the blue. Does the clear? I think so. I've never used the clear, but I think it does. I mean, I think it's supposed to, so I think all Uhu is probably perfectly good. I use the blue here in Arizona because it is so dry. My glue dries very, very quickly. The glue stick dries super fast. And if it's not blue, I can't tell what's dry, what's not dry, what has glue, what doesn't. That's basically the reason why. And so just like we did on that corner, I'm going to cheat and go up here. Now, depending on how you work, you might do it faster than this anyway, without having to cheat. So, and then if you need a little more glue, obviously stick it on there. That piece needs slid over. And then I'll set this aside once we're done, and we will let it dry for a little bit. If you don't like all the straight edges, feel free to just tear your paper randomly. That is also a faster way of making a collage masterboard. So you just tear the paper up into pieces. All those rough, raggedy edges, the slopes that you get when you tear paper, doesn't matter. Just glue it down to a paper. That is also a very, very fast, and actually it looks amazing, that style. I don't often do it, but I like it when I see other people do it, and I keep meaning to like, oh yeah, you need to make one like that, because it's a totally different look. So I mean to, I forget. There's so many things, and I just forget. I'm going to put this here, but it is going to overlap. And I'm not concerned about getting like glue somewhere. Like up here, I got glue. I don't care. It doesn't matter at this stage at all. We're literally just covering up this cardstock. And so I work the corners first when I do it this way. I probably usually start in a corner anyway, but I like to work the corners first, this method, and then go back in and, you know, fill in those little gaps. I thought that I cut out more botanical, but apparently I didn't. I don't know where it went. It's disappeared. Let me see if I could read chat while I'm cutting this out. You couldn't tell a difference? Uhu, probably there isn't. I was really disappointed that the Scotch Create, who says it's permanent, because I know a lot of crafters who use that, and they like that. And I don't know how many of their projects are peeling up after the fact, but mine did. Like, again, I am in Arizona. Maybe that is the difference, you know. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I just picked that spot and started. It literally doesn't matter. If I have big gaps or openings, I don't care. But if you haven't done a collage masterboard, all just rough torn, just sit and do it when you're watching TV. Just, you know, let go and sit and do it. It's super, super fun. It's a good look too. Like, it's different, you know, something different. I don't know if that will cover everything. We'll see. I do need a baby wipe though. Oh, and I left them open earlier. Cool. If I wouldn't have found that today, the whole entire pack would have been dried out yesterday or tomorrow. Yesterday. Goodness. Cool. I need a lot more book page on here. I might just, I mean, if it gets too busy, if you ever make a collage and it, you know, it looks too busy by the time you're done with it, what I do oftentimes when I'm decorating things I made with collage anyway, is I put torn book page back over the top of it. It doesn't matter. So if it gets too busy, when I decorate my pockets or tags or whatever this is bound to be, all my little pages, little pieces, got down here to the bottom. Then I'll put book page over it anyway. It won't matter. We've got that there. We can use it here. Perfect. So I can't use that. That's a whole lot of red, but I'm going to do it. This is super fast Masterboard, and I do not care. I'm not going to be super picky about it. We need a lot more text. Put that big piece of text right there and cover up all that beautiful marble paper. I have this little piece here. I'm going to put the music right here. So you'll notice that I'm not putting the glue stick on the piece necessarily this time. I'm just, can't use that, just covering up whatever covers up and putting the glue right directly on the Masterboard. Let's get these roots in here. Let's do those here. Maybe here. I don't know if you guys can see all the way down there. Go down here. So like that. And then we need text. Got a lot of text, but doesn't matter. Build that one up. Being super messy with it in an effort to be quick. And see, I've almost covered up that entire green piece. Don't care. I'm going to put this here in the center. We're just about there. I've got that. Let's do this one here. The thing I worry about the most is the edges, to be honest. I mean, I obviously try to get glue everywhere, but I try really hard to get that edge heavily glued. This one I left the border on. Let's go ahead and put that there. Have you guys ever done a strip collage Masterboard? And that's not meant to sound that way. With strips of paper, like tiny, tiny little strips where you just the little strips on your paper. You can use scraps, all the little offcuts. Where did I put the baby away? All the little offcuts. Fast method. Uh-oh. For a small timeout. Joanne, that's kind of funny. I'm going to slide this piece over because the corner is torn and this is only white over here anyway. Can I do that? I guess I can't. Oh well, because it opened up a gap. It's okay to tear your Florentine paper. We have to use it. We have to use it. What else do I not have in here? I have this little section here and a couple little holes. Need to find something to cover something with. Oh, that was very descriptive, wasn't it? I'm just going to stick this here. Ooh, that was a big chunk out of my glue stick. That happens during the fast method. If you care that there is so much glue left over, it's easy enough to wipe up, especially off the glossy paper. I don't care. Okay, this piece here needs something kind of decorative. Now look at that mess. That's what you get, right? So we're going to start trying to clear that up. This is going here and we're almost done. I've got everything there, everything there. I've got a little hole here. I can't use that same red. I'm going to use a piece of this. If you had a small hole like that and you're going to use your Masterboard right away, you could just leave it because chances are you would decorate and cover it up anyway. If you're not going to use your Masterboard right away, chances are, especially if you're using like a 12 by 12 that has pattern on it, you probably would not remember you left a hole there. So I try to only leave them when I know that I'm going to use it right away. Because otherwise you'll make something and someone will get it and be like, oh, they left a little hole. I don't like that there, but I don't have anything else at the moment. Do I? Not really. I'm just going to do it. It's fine. You put glue on this over here. There we go. I think our Masterboard is done. Nope, right here and right there. You guys could probably see those. This yellow one will be lovely here. And I used a lot more pattern paper than I did book page or music. And that's totally fine. I'm going to use book page and or music paper when I decorate these pockets anyway. There we go. Unless I find another hole, we're good. So this is what we ended up with. It looks like a hot mess right now. It doesn't matter. It'll be perfect and gorgeous when we're done with it. So let's set that off to the side. I do not see any more openings. So we're good there. Okay. Masterboard done. And it's a 12 by 12. So that's going to give me at least 4 big tags and 3 pockets, at least, depending on how you cut it up. Let's leave that glue stick open and let me clean up all these little paper edges, these little strippies. So when I mean, like, have you ever made a strip collage Masterboard? It's using these teeny tiny little strips of your offcuts and you just lay them all out. I like to do mine going in one direction. You can mix it up, whatever you want to do. But when I do mine, I like to do it in just, you know, going one direction. It can be different sizes of pieces, but you just lay them out like that, kind of like inlay all your little strips and then cut it out. When I do it that way, I tend to use all pattern or all text and then decorate with whatever I didn't use. So like if I used all text bits, then I would decorate with like a piece of decorative paper, like Italian paper, and then my focal point and a label. If I used all pattern paper, like this kind of pattern paper, then I would put a big piece of book page on there, text page on there, and then my focal point and a label. Typically, I use a focal point and a label and some book page on everything. It gets into a super good habit though, right? You use up all your little scraps that way. Okay. I think we're good. I didn't empty my trash can in here from shipping earlier. So now it's full. So we have collagey bits in this corner of my desk. We have things that will be primarily like focal point decorating. Most of these kinds, I'm probably just going to make them into journal cards. The ones that already look like a journal card, but these ones that are just people, I'll probably decorate on tags or something. We'll see. But when I don't empty my trash can, it gets too full, and then all the paper bits fall on the floor. I need to turn the air conditioning down. I will be right back. Hello, Jane. Be right back. 2 seconds. The AC turns itself back up every day. Every day during my life. Every day. I do need to get a Nest or figure out how to use this one because I don't know how. Anyway. Whew, I'm hot. Hello, Wendy H. I'm still laughing at Joanne's timeout remark. Okay, so guys, for pockets. Ooh, for pockets. Let's do the tags. These guys. I know there's glue somewhere on here. Let's pick out a couple of these. I might wait on those. Let's wait on that to the end because my goal is to use those where I don't have another pocket that will work. So I'm going to wait to use these as tucks until the end of this video. So if you have it printed, now's your chance. For these ones that I printed on copy paper, I just need to pick out ones like this. I'm looking for specifically because the people are shorter and they will go on a pocket. These really tall ones, it'd have to be a tall pocket or like a side tuck or something like that. So those ones I think are better tags, whereas this one I want to use in a pocket. Those ones are iffy. These ones, they're all kind of tall. Let me see. I think we could use that one, the middle one there. Definitely this one here. And then I think I start repeating. Okay, so let's make a couple of pockets quick with these guys as decoration. So this is gonna break some people's hearts. And I should be using a paper trimmer. But on those ones, I know I want them on a pocket. And so I cut off the top. I won't throw that away. That will be decoration or collage or whatever for some other project later on. Put that over there. And then this one here, I'm just going to be ruthless and snip it. And I'm just getting, these are more my focal points for the pockets I'm making right now. And I said these little children. So let's start with those. Obviously, I don't want to have all my pockets be decorated the same way. But again, I'm making 3, so we're just going to make some. Okie dokie. Whew. I cannot drink coffee. I don't know what my pulse is right now, but I cannot drink coffee. Oh, goodness. It makes my pulse race, my blood pressure way too high. All the bad things. I want some rag paper book page for the pockets that I'm making right now. Rag paper is sturdier, so let's see what we have here for rag paper. This one is German, and it's nice, thick rag paper. You can see there's some wormy holes in it. See the wormy holes? So I might skip to a section that doesn't have wormy holes if I can. It's really hard sometimes to get super old books like this, the pages out when you don't like cut them out with the signatures. But because I'm just making pockets, I'm not going to take the time to take them out as full signatures. All you would do is snip your strings, but I'm being lazy. So there's some of the German that will work. We have a little bit of French and English dictionary. We could take some of those. I'm trying to keep the pages whole and not like super torn, but they come out how they come out. They all have a mind of their own. If you snip the strings, they'll come out much nicer, but that didn't happen. I really wish that I had some super old rag paper music. That page is nice. We'll use that one. That'll work. We did the German one. We did the dictionary. We need these ones. These are some of my favorites. I'm taking 3 2-page sets out of each one of these books. Okay. If you don't have rag paper, use what you do have. If you don't want to use your precious rag paper for this project, I understand. You don't have to. Ooh, look at that. That fell out of one of those books. This is like a super old prayer card. Okay. We'll keep it. There's treasures in all of the books. I don't go through every book. I literally thumb through it for the first time almost every time here with you guys on Tuesday nights live sales. So there may be treasures in your book. I find them all the time in mine. So this is what I pulled per book page. We have like small, medium, and large. That was just by accident, not on purpose. So let's start with these ones. These ones measure, where's my cutter? I don't know. But anyway, somewhere was my cutter. These ones are measuring right about 4 3/4 inches wide. That's really the only thing I'm concerned about at this point is the width, because I want to make sure, where's the journal, that they fit on my pages. So I'm going to keep working in the green one with you guys for right now. At some point, I might switch and change. We had some projects left over that we started. This was supposed to get sewn on here, and I forgot that I started last Friday. So I'm looking for a page. So my page width is here, and it's roughly 5.5 inches because it was an 11-inch sheet of paper that I folded. So as long as your pocket is smaller than your page, for all you new people, as long as your pocket is smaller than your journal page, it's fine. It doesn't need cut. It's a pocket. So anyway, it's good. Excuse me. Good to know. I have hiccups now. Good to know how wide your pages are, just so you know as you go, you make a pocket that fits. Whew. You guys are going to be like, don't drink coffee during a live day ever again. The first thing that I want to do is to glue these 2 pages together. And I'm going to do it kind of randomly. Like I don't need to glue the whole thing. I'm going to try, but this doesn't matter as much that you glue it end to end. If you leave a spot, it's okay. See how fast it's drying? You guys see it just turn white? Yep. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. The one thing that I don't want in here is chunks of glue, because it's going to be a pocket. So I have my edge that I tore out of the book on this side. So I'm going to keep the edge that I tore out of the book over here. And I'm just going to put them together. It doesn't matter if they're ever so slightly off. Those are basically right on top of each other. But there's that. So I glued 2 rag paper pages together for thickness. From there, I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes before we do anything else with it. And I'm just going to prepare a couple more. This is the base for my pocket. I don't want to leave string from the signature in there because that will be bumpy. And I know a lot of you guys are seasoned junk journalers, junk journal makers. If I go over details that you're like, we know this, just bear with us, because we do have a lot of people who this is their first journal or very near their first. And so when I make these videos and I over explain things, it's because I know from talking to people, we have people that are brand new. And so for those people, I kind of try to explain a lot. Everyone else who knows it, just move on to, like, you know, the next step. You don't have to go as slow as I do or anything else. I just want to make sure, you know, if I didn't explain something, people might think, you know, they were left out or whatever. Okay. This is our third one. I really didn't need to do the third one right now. I guess I could have moved on to a different size pocket or book page. Not a whole lot of chatter going on tonight. Uh-oh, we got off a little bit on that one. What you guys doing out there? You guys got plans for the weekend? I'm going to be invoicing and packing and shipping stuff from Tuesday's live sale. Everyone should have gotten an invoice, except there are a bunch of people, like 10 people, who have stuff here from previous weeks, but you guys only have like a couple of perfume labels or one sheet, one like 4-page ledger pack. And the shipping I thought was going to be kind of expensive to ship you, like 1 perfume label, 4 perfume labels, whatever. So I didn't do those, only because I figured I could combine them with stuff from this Tuesday so that you weren't paying shipping for something so small and then turning right around and having another invoice that they could have shipped with. So there are several people, 10 people-ish, that have either, some people had books and they had one of those ledger page packs that I had recently. And I shipped their books media mail because it was significantly cheaper than shipping the whole entire order with the ledger pages. Ledger pages cannot go media mail because they're not bound. So I kept the ledger pages here so that I could combine them with something else. So your books were shipped media mail and your ledger pages are still here, or your perfume labels, whatever the case was, because it was cost effective to do it that way for you guys. Honestly, it takes quite a bit more time for me to have to figure all of that out and, you know, keep stuff, ship stuff. Sometimes I have to ship, you know, 2 different packages to save you guys money. I'm happy to do that. I just want you guys to know that that is my motivation and that's what I'm trying to do. We may reach a point where I just have to just ship stuff. But if you're waiting on an invoice from previous weeks, if you're okay, I'll ship it with the next stuff. Now, if you don't order anything else, then I'm, of course, happy to ship it. I will ship it anytime, but I just didn't want to charge you. Like for one perfume label, the perfume label itself was $5, but shipping, minimum first class shipping, it doesn't matter how much it weighs, 1 ounce. Minimum first class shipping is $4 and change. And that seems like an awful lot to pay on a $5 perfume. So that's my motivation with that. Anyone who had a larger package, everything is gone. Just clarifying all of that. Ooh, new glasses, Kendall. That's awesome. That's really awesome. I got some new readers from Costco, but they're exactly the same as my old readers from Costco. Does that count? So I'm going to glue maybe just this one of these, and then we're moving on to decorating because I've glued a whole bunch together. So all I was doing is strengthening up, adding, 2 pages on top of one of rag paper is usually enough for a pocket. We'll have to make sure about that, but and then just give those a minute to dry. Of course, I could have used a glue book, but I didn't. Wasn't reading and thought she meant Kindle wine glasses. Oh. Well, to each their own. This got super sticky. Okay, so today you're into fabric flips. I love fabric flips. I have some pieces of fabric that I'm going to be adding into these journals. I am just making pockets today, but yes, definitely. We're going to have some fabric pockets too. We started last week with some of the stamped fabric pockets. So I'll have those, but I also will have regular fabric pockets. You guys will see it all. I will not make without you. Or if I make without you, I will at least record it. That's drying nicely. It would be nice if it was under something to squish it down, but I'm not going to stress about it now. We can squish the pockets down later. So this is the one that I said was 4 3/4. So we just need to make a nice pocket. I think we're just going to cut these in half. So we're going to have like a 4-inch, because this is the measurement of this book page, right? I'm going to have a 4-inch tall by 4 3/4 pocket. So that's just the pocket base. This guy, I just glued. Let's wait on him. He's super wet still. We'll cut a couple of these to decorate. I'll do 4. I mean, I don't know if I'll decorate all of those right this second, but let's cut one of these. So this guy is, he's a 4-inch, pocket. So on my book page or on my journal page, a 4-inch pocket is kind of on the narrow side. I'm not exactly opposed to it. It will just have to have a skinnier tag put in it. The other option is to use your book page sideways. It's not going to matter because you're going to decorate on it anyway. And if you used a collage masterboard, your words are going every which way anyway. So I think I'm going to do it sideways. All that to be said. Now, I think I'm going to do it sideways. And then that little strip that we cut off, again, I'm going to keep my pockets to 4 inches tall. This little bit that we cut off, we can use for a pocket on like a tag. So it can be a shorter, smaller pocket on a tag. Don't throw that piece away. Let's do another one of those. Now you can see this one got off center. Doesn't matter, I will trim it up. So there's a couple pockets. Let's start with those and let these guys dry a lot more. They're super wet. Sorry for the clanking. How do you plan out what you're going to put in your journals? How do you remember your plans? Memory is half the battle for me as well. However, I have a standard formula that I use for pretty much every single signature journal. I don't care what kind of pockets. I put 6 pockets in the front and 6 pockets in the back. So find your center page and then put 6. And I know you're probably asking more about specifics, and I'll get into that too. I don't know where my center is in this one. Okay, where's my center? Right here. So this is my center spread. So in the first half of my journal for new people, I'm putting 6 pockets in the first half, not including any pocket inside of the cover. 6 pockets on the first half pages, and then 6 pockets on the back half of the journal. You can put more, you can put less, but in a single signature journal, you got to be careful of the thickness, right? So I have found that 12 overall pockets is the right number for me. I use roughly 15 pages, full-size pages in the signature, 15 whole sheets. So when you fold those in half, that's 30 turnable pages. But what is that? 120 sides? So I don't know the math right now. I think it's 120 sides or something like that. But anyway, I have found that 15 full-size pages and 12 pockets full of ephemera usually is kind of the maximum that we can put in here without getting it like super, super ridiculous gator mouth. Some gator mouth is okay for me. I don't care about it. There are people who absolutely hate gator mouth, and for those people who buy my journals, they will just take ephemera out, and that's fine. I'd rather you have the extra ephemera than not have it. Okay, for this bit, I'm going to attempt to sit in a chair. I have been working all day, as probably most of you guys have. It's Friday, though. That's awesome. 60. Thank you, Christy. Yep, that's right. 15 times 4. Thank you. Thank you. I'm like, wait, the math doesn't seem right. That seems like an awful lot of size. I cannot scoop my chair up all the way either. What's stopping me here? My craft cart. There we go. Okay, so we're going to try to do this sitting down. This chair is fighting with me. I think I said we were doing these straight up. I don't know. Let's start with these ones. These ones are easier. So find, we glued 2 book pages together. So find whatever side you want for the front face of your pocket. It doesn't matter what's on the back. You could have glued this to a book page that was all like glue book page or something like that. You could have glued it to scrap paper, junk mail, whatever. I just had enough rag paper sitting here, so I glued 2 rag papers together. I like the rag paper for strength too. You can see that since this is an antique book page, that the top of it is not cut perfectly straight. It is off by a little hair right here. Antique book pages, they're often not cut square. The printing isn't always perfect on them, like square. The cut pages are not always square. So we are going to want to trim the top of our pocket perfectly square. Now, it could have been my cut job, but you can look at the printing and see that the printing isn't perfect either, whereas the cut based off of the text is. So let me grab that trimmer. I didn't notice it before, but before I decorate my pocket, I want to make sure that we are straight. So I just want to line this up again and trim that. And it was just an odd little, thing that happens in antique book pages. I guess we'll need to keep that trimmer handy. Okay. What I like to do on these is fold over the top, and it's just because we used book page instead of, and Rachel does this too. This is where I got this from. It's because, and you didn't have to trim it if you were going to fold it, I guess, but it just bothers me when things aren't square, I guess. So fold it over just, you know, a quarter of, it's still wet with glue, so it is kind of hard to fold it straight. Your paper, when it has moisture in it, will act like an entirely different animal than when your paper is dry. So just fold it over to give the top edge of your pocket a little bit more reinforcing, and then just glue it down. Just that top little bit, and I should not be gluing it on here like this, or I'm going to get this all sticky again. So now we've reinforced it. We've also taken off some of that white that was up there at the top. I need it folded just a little bit more. I'm not trying to have a buckle there, but it's not wanting to fold straight at all. It's just too wet. I guess we're getting what we get there. Not perfect, but we'll go with it. I did leave the original ends where I tore it out of the book the way that they were. Let me see if I can live with this. I cannot live with it being that crooked. I'm going to try a whole new fold. It just does not want to do it because it's so stinking wet. It's too soft. I'm going to give up here in a second. Just cut it off. All right. Can I live with it? Sorta. The other option would be to add another piece of paper to the top of your pocket. It's just getting worse and worse and worse, honestly. And now I've opened it up a bunch of times. So I'm going to try one more time, and then I'm just going to get what I get. And if I don't use this pocket in my journal, then I don't use this pocket in my journal. It just will not fold over on this edge. Do you guys see what's happening? Every time I try to fold it, it just won't do it. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm leaving it. We got what we got. It's super bumpy, and I kind of hate it. This is not working. Well, anyway, let's move on before I obsess about that any more than I already have. I know that I want to put some of the Italian paper on here, and I didn't bring that over. So I'm going to be using that throughout a lot of this. That may not have answered your question. You may have been asking more about specifics, and we can talk about that too. Let me grab the collage bits that I have right here. Let's grab all this pile of goodness. Let's grab that pile. That was it? Okay. And then from, just, you know, to finish the thought for anyone else, from the 12 pockets, I usually put no more than 2 of the same type of pocket. Like if I do a specialty pocket, for instance, like it's not a specialty pocket necessarily, but if I did these corner pockets like this, where they go on the page like that, for any type of pocket other than a normal straight pocket across the bottom, I won't use more than 2, one in the front half of the signature and one in the back half of the signature in a single signature journal. It just kind of starts feeling like, in my mind, I got lazy and I just use the same pocket every single time. If I have to, or if, you know, if you just love the pocket, that's a different story. But my goal is to only use one of these in the front of this pocket type and one in the back. For straight pockets, like I'm making a straight pocket right now, I don't really limit myself with those because the decoration really does make those look different. And I think that's just like your basic pocket that everyone uses. Like it's kind of expected for it to be in the journal. I don't know. I'm kind of weird about the way that I do it, I guess. It's just things feel right in my brain and then things feel wrong in my brain. So for me, yeah, it either feels right or it feels wrong. I know that's kind of like a, black or white kind of a thinking. So I'm not paying attention to what looks good here. I'm just going to make the bases of these pockets. And all I'm doing right now is adding some little bit of Italian paper. And I want some, when I'm done, here's the formula. The formula for these book page pockets is the text that's on the book page already is one element. The Italian paper is the second element. Some type of focal point is the third element. And the fourth and final element that I'm planning is a label. Very, very simple pockets. And that's, probably the most common formula for any type of pocket, really. But the point of starting out with book page is that you've already got that base layer down, the text layer down. So with that, I always bury my glue book. You just glue your Italian paper. If you don't have Italian paper, any type of pattern paper that has like an all over pattern, like this Italian paper, it basically just has an all over pattern on it, right? So any type of paper will work. I'm going to leave that dry a little bit before I trim it just so my scissors don't get all gummed up. And I'm just going to use different patterns of these papers on these pockets. This one, I am afraid, it is a lot more dry. I am afraid to fold it over because I really hated that last one. But I'm going to try it. I'm a glutton for punishment. That one I can pretty much live with. And I'm going to stop being so picky, but for me, that's easier said than done. So yeah, just reinforcing. And when you make these, it's best if you just assembly line make them. Do everything all at the same step. So fold over all your tops. First, glue all your pages together, fold over all your tops, then go back in, add all your pattern paper. Then you might find your focal points, and then you might put your labels on or whatever else. Why is this guy popping up? No popping up. Let's do one more of these. You got to look at which side you want your front of your pocket to be. And it may be that the text is printed crooked in this book. You know how I thought the top of the paper was crooked? It may be where the text is actually printed crooked, and that might be why I'm having such a hard time visually making that line up. Eventually, I will learn to use my glue book. It's sitting right here in front of me. Okay, these ones. I think both of these pages are roughly the same. I'm gonna go with this. I'll go with this one. I hate to lose this little zero that's up here. But yeah, it might be where that book is printed crooked because this one folded, and it's even a thinner paper. So anyway, I'm gonna assembly line make these. And I'm trying to make them quick so that we can get a lot of pockets done tonight. This one I do want this way. I still want to make different kinds of pockets. We're not even past the first one yet. Obviously, we'll have collage masterboard pockets, and we'll have these pockets, and then I want to make a couple more. So let me stop there so I don't take up too much time. From here, I'm just going to quickly add some of this paper on here. It doesn't matter what side you put it on. I'm like, where's my glue book? I've lost it already. Okay, there's that one. Let's go ahead and have the pink in here. Let's put the pink on the non-German. The German has such a heavy, I'll go on this side this time. The German has such a heavy font look. It already looks so much heavier than this. When I decorate these ones, I tend to not want such a busy, tight pattern paper on there. That's just my opinion. But please use your Italian papers. I don't care whether you ever buy more or not. The fun of having these things is using them, not hoarding them. You know, like I totally get like the want to, but you know, the fun really is using them. You know, seeing what you create and seeing, you know, the final result, I think, is always nice. Let's put one of these. It's more open of a pattern. The good thing with Italian paper too is it really does not matter like which direction you put this Italian paper on. It really doesn't. Like I could have turned this any different direction and been fine with it. This is a little bit more, and I really don't want to cover up this like title up here. So I think I might go from the bottom up on that one. Did I get it all the way? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so there's 4. There's this guy here. And on that one, I'm going to use this black marble. And again, I think I want it to come that way. Uh-oh. This is a super simple pocket. Like very, very common, like pretty much, I don't know, everybody makes that pocket. Very basic. Because we have only the, what was 5 weeks in the month of August to make these journals, it is a little shorter than other journals that we've worked on together, like my other journal kits that we all did together. We had more time. But because there is a new journal kit coming out, it really, it needs to come out very, very soon. It just is a time thing of making it. So because we have another journal kit coming, and we're going to be doing this, we're just going to work through journal kit after journal kit after journal kit. I needed to make this one fast, and I would really like to do these monthly. I think that monthly, we can work through all of the themes or a lot of the themes that are in my head. Because when there's themes in my head, I forget which way I was doing it. I think I was doing it right there. When there's themes in my head, it makes like, I feel like I need to make them. They, you know, they sit in there and eat up brain power, I think. And I don't have a lot of time to make things outside of the time that we need to be doing things together. So I think the kits are kind of just me working through. Do I have another pocket? I don't know that I do. Let's make one of these ones quick. I'm going to do this German one. It's a small piece, so I'm just not going to fold it over because I don't want to make it any more short. But I just need to work through the themes to get them out, get them done, and keep going. You'll see that I'm being really, really rough, just tearing my paper, not really caring. It's more so that I think all the little leftover bits are fun to play with too, and so it's not like they're getting wasted. You might be a little more precious with it. I just know that even if there's a little weird corner later on in the journal for like a cluster or something, that would be perfect. That's great. Okay, let's leave those for that one for a minute, and let me trim these so that I can see some focal points on them. You're not using the quilt. You don't have to use the quilt. The quilts, honestly, they were nice. So, you know, if you didn't want to use them, I totally get that. I didn't cut them up for journal covers either, so I understand. Speaking of quilted journal covers, Jane sent me some really beautiful quilted journal covers. I loved them very much. Sorry about my dog. She's barking. That one is still wet. Hopefully that does not continue. If it does, I will go close the door. It's just super hot here. And when the door is closed, it is even hotter in this room. Jetta, come on. My dog's name is Jetta. She is all the way on the other side of the house, but she is a very big dog and she has a big bark. She scares everyone, like when they come to the door and stuff. She scares them. So like these little pieces that are actual little pieces, I will save, but the little tiny strippy things I will not. And if they already have glue on them, that's fine. I will just make sure that they get separated over there. I do want to do a specific project the last time we're together making these journals, these specific ones, with the leftover bits of paper. Jetta is being bad right now, and she is a German Shepherd, which is why her name is Jetta. Jetta is German. Apparently, I'm going to have to go close my door. She doesn't need anything. She's lonely. She wants somebody to sit out there with her. Okay, so that's what we have for those bases. Is there one more? Yes, there's one more right here. Like I thought I made another one. So that's what we have for those. This one is a little short. I didn't fold it down. I think one of the other ones is too. Yeah, there's a couple little short ones. Okay. So now we need focal points for these. So focal points. We had these images. I don't mind cutting off the bottom of them. I could have used the taller ladies and just cut the bottom, but I was trying to use these shorter pictures of the women because I know the taller ones I probably want for text. So right now I'm just going to try to match up whatever image. Honestly, you don't have to match colors. You don't have to stress about it. Any of these will go with any Italian paper and any book page. So this, honestly, if you're not really great at collage, this is a pocket for you. This formula of pocket is perfect. It doesn't matter what focal point you put with Italian paper and book page. Pretty much everything will go. Let me just trim these quick so I can see. And we'll audition them. I mean, I'll be cutting off the bottom, so I'm just going to snip it there. You could try to go like more of a matchy-matchy, and I may, you know, fussy cut around them a little bit. I may put them at a different angle or height or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just try to figure out what you think looks good. Like maybe I want to stick with more of that yellow. I don't want to cover up all my book page, so I do want to do something to keep the women to where they're not covering up everything. So I really do not want to trim around that. but I think I have to on this one. And in fact, I'm actually going to trim off a little bit of her dress. You can edit as you see fit. You do not have to leave their big dresses the way that they are. And I'm just going to trim it like that. I didn't trim around her. I'm going to try to leave those stripes off to the side. I just want to see how it looks. Again, you can save what you want to save. So we're getting there. I want to stick her a little more like that, or maybe I'll trim around it and put it in the middle. This might just not be the pocket for the ladies for this one. I might have to move them. It just depends. You have to audition, right? So I'm thinking they might look good there. It's bothering me a little bit, the angle of this paper, but I think I'm just going to stick them on. I'm going to have this little bit of text there. That's fine. We're good. So those ones are going on there. I'm going to try to be less picky and take up too much time. Like I said, we don't have unlimited, because in September we're going to be working on a new journal. So in order for that new journal kit to come out and be sold and be shipped in time, you know, that needs to happen soon. So, you know, we'll be working on a whole different journal, a whole different theme in September. I don't know what theme that's going to be yet. Let me see. This one had green. It might have been really cute with that, but we put the purple one on there. So no whining about it, right? I might put them on this one. I might put them on this one. Let me see what they look like. I am going to trim around her again. If you had other like Victorian looking fussy cuts, if you wanted to, you know, print one of those French fashion magazine ladies, if you wanted to copy and print one of those. I'm trying to not cut it all off, but I can see on this one I do have to fussy cut all of it. So no big deal. But if you had any type of Victorian image, that would work too. Doesn't have to be these specifics. You can also print, if you have Rachel's kits, you know, you can print them out smaller, and that also works for giving you a bunch more small elements to play with. I could have, and probably honestly wish that I would have printed these. I printed them full size, and I wish that I would have printed them 2 to a page and made them a little smaller, but I didn't. So now we're using what we have. I don't know about 2 to a page. I don't know, but maybe they would have been a little better, smaller. So I know I don't want the white on there. So let me go ahead and snip off that now. And try that again. So we've got these girls. They're super cute. I don't want all of them. So I think I'm going to go like that with them. So I'm going to glue them down and cut off that bottom here in a minute. These pockets, you do not need to sew around. I have started sewing around less and less and less of my things. It not only does it take a lot of time, I think junk journal world as a whole is starting to slow down with the needing to sew around absolutely everything that you make. So I have seen a lot of people stop sewing around their things. Totally. I'm not going away from it totally, but you don't need to sew around these. I'm going to let that dry just a little bit before I trim that one off. Let's find something for this one. So this one, there is an awful lot of characters in there. I'm not sure I'm going to like it fussy cut, but let's see. And then we're going to decorate some a little differently too, since I don't have unlimited of these people and I don't want, you know, so many all in the same journal. And sometimes you can't really see where the image is, like especially in Rachel's collages, there's so much going on. So sometimes you just have to wing it and fussy cut around, you know, where you imagine the borders of things being, right? Let me clean this. This drives me crazy. I super do not like all the tiny little pieces. Okay, so, I mean, you know, they're looking this way for the most part, so I think we're going to end up sticking them on this one. Something like that down there in the bottom. I kind of wanted my focal point to overlap this area a little more, but we didn't quite get there with these images. Ooh, the pink one it is, although I wanted the paper on that side, but I think the pink one it is. Okay, we're going to use pink one on this one. And this one, I could actually overlap it. I just don't want this hard edge right here. So you know how I was just saying, like go in and edit the picture however you kind of see it. I'm literally just making my own edge there. That's not straight. Just because when I put it on here, I didn't want that hard edge. So just because the image looks one way doesn't mean it has to stay that way. If you need it to not have a hard edge, then by all means, edit it, especially these Victorian ones, because their clothing is so big. You can totally cut off half their clothes, their dress or whatever, and no one will ever know. Let's see, are we going to be straight? Like that. Okay. So this one, I left myself a nice place over here to put a label. These ones, we have 4 more. Let's put something different on those. For those ones, let me look at this botanical book. If you had any type of flower sticker, something like that you could use. I don't know where all the pretty flowers are in this book, but I cannot get over how much thinner, how less good quality these papers are compared to the first book that I bought. I cannot get over that. Let me see. You're hearing your neighbor's dog bark. Aww. I think I'm going to use this tall yellow flower here. So for this one, I'm going to fussy cut it, sort of. So do I want, I'm just going to fussy cut this flower out. And I'm not going to cut it to where I'm going into every little nook and cranny. I'm leaving some of the background. The background in this book for all of your flowers is kind of like a tea-dyed color. The paper is so thin. It cuts so differently. It's kind of a tea-dyed colored background anyway. So nobody cares about leaving a little bit of that color space back there, especially because we're putting it on basically tea-dyed color. This little bit here is getting me. Because you're putting it on a book page anyway, and the book page is basically the same color as this background. So we're not going to care about that. We're just going to cut around it. And if you don't want to cut around all the fiddly parts, like this little extra stalk here of this flower, you could have totally cut that off. Edit your things that you're cutting all the time. I only take a chunk out of big white areas of book page. And then I'm going to cut that word off. And we're going to go around here. Normally I would use fussy cutting scissors too, but I was too lazy to get them. This paper, seriously. The other paper was so nice. Bring back the nice paper. It was so thick and sturdy, and I use it in signatures of the journal. And this one, I mean, you could still use it, but it's much, much thinner. So the only thing I need to edit is right here again. And I'm good. Don't even know that we will use all of it anyway. So this one, it's really, really tall. This one I did fold over, but this would have been great on a tag with some Italian paper. See how things just always look good with it? It does. So anyway, that's that one. The only other flower that is here that is really meant for fussy cutting is this weird tall one. I think we're going to skip cutting that out. I won't throw the paper away, but we'll skip cutting that out. These little bits are trash. Let's try to glue this on. I don't know if I can live with losing some of it. So remember how I was saying edit? I'm just going to make the flower end there because it was going to stick over and bother me. So now it ends there. And then glue that on. If you have stickers, this process is obviously going to be much, much faster. I do have stickers, but I have recently discovered that those stickers that I bought a long, long time ago, they're not really the style that I would use very often. So for now, we're just going to put these botanicals on. Perfect. Okay, so there's that one. We have these 3 left. My fingers are very sticky. I need another botanical out of here. I think that guy we can use the back side of. This time I want something that's an actual flower. This is just too big, or at least it looks too big. Let me see. Looking for something a little different. I'm thinking this one on this one. That might be a whole lot of red, though. Yeah, let's do it. Sorry if you cannot see me fussy cutting. I have to be able to see. So I'm trying to preserve these smaller little flowers where I can from this book page. There's a couple little smaller ones there that we might use on something else eventually. I don't know if I want it there. I think I want it here. I don't know what kind of flower this is. I didn't look before I started cutting. So who's crafting along tonight? Who's actually making things? And you don't have to be making this. You don't have to be working on this journal kit. What are you making? I know Joanne said she was taking a class. Maybe she's working on something, or she's making the Italian journal. I don't know. But what are you guys working on out there? I hope to get some more crafting time in this weekend so that I can get the other 2 journals, because I'm making 3 of these exact, theme journals anyway. They won't be the same. They have different covers and they're already inherently different. But I will be making 3. So I hope to get some time this weekend to bring the other 2 more up to speed, up to where we are with this one. This one's, I'm not going to really glue anything in today. I mean, I might glue some tucks or something, but I'm not going to glue. My plan is to not glue these in until I'm kind of like sure I want them there, and I don't want to take our time to fiddle around and audition things and change my mind a million times like I do when I make my things. So we're just going to make the elements. And then I will glue them in off camera where I put them. And then I will show you guys where I put the pockets that we make. I am being a little more cutty of this one, but I really shouldn't be. Just kind of take off this angle of this leaf here. And then get in there. And then I think I might look at making a different kind of pocket with you guys. Take some more out of this white area. Let's see how that looks. The only thing I didn't like is this little area. We're going to trim around in there. Yeah, fiddly. Okay, I like that one there. That's good. Working on some lace and ribbon tassels. That's awesome. Making a paper clip. That's awesome. A man journal. That's awesome. Joanne's cutting along this journal or crafting along this journal. Making more pockets too. This journal. Kendall's crafting. That's awesome, guys. Cool. Well, that one's good. I guess I don't need to stick him over there until we glue him. So yeah, we'll have a new kit September, and we'll make that one next. So maybe like, you know, if we do this for an entire year, by the end of the year, everyone will have completed 12 journals. I'm trying to figure out where I want that. There's good. So 12 journals, that's a lot of journals for a year. That'd be good. That's a good goal, right? Okay, these two are left. Let's do something different with those, possibly. What do we have that we can do different with those? What other images do we have that we can do different with them? I do want to use this now that I folded it for collage. Let me see what else I have sitting here. Oh, I'm like, what the heck is that? It's a truck outside. I have the not Martha, oh my gosh. Anna Griffin's going to kill me. The Anna Griffin flowers. I'm just going to stick a couple of those on just because they're already cut. I don't know. They're okay. They're okay. Let's put something pink on this. I mean, I don't mind that. I'll do some trimming, but let me see something else. I need to audition my things. Quickly. I don't know if I want the yellow or the pink. Some of these lilies would have been cute. Sorry, you guys cannot see me dig. That's what I'm digging through. I don't want pansies, or do I? Do I want pansies on there? No, it's not a pansy kind of journal. If there was such a thing as a pansy kind of journal. This is 3-dimensional. I don't want that one. Not for a pocket. Let's just, there's a rose, and I already have one of those kind of looking things. I do not know why she's doing that. Apologies. What about this one here? I guess somebody's getting a delivery outside, and I don't know how your guys' dogs are, but my dog cannot handle when somebody's getting a delivery, especially us. She cannot handle it. I'm going to put that yellow one on there. She just freaks out over deliveries. And I think it is going to be this hydrangea, but I do need to make an edit. I don't know if the Anna Griffin die cutty place. Just missed that bit or what? But I think we'll keep it low. I mean, this is a pocket, so and I didn't get that trimmed off. I don't know if I missed it or I just didn't do it, but let's trim that. Let's just stick it on there. We'll be done. Okay. Glue. This one, it doesn't have any cutouts. And that is just a little too white for this, this book page. So quickly, let me try to kind of blend in some of that whiteness that's there on this one. Just a little bit more grungy. It's better. It's not perfect, but even on this one, I just want a little bit. I didn't put any ink on here. I am literally just using what is already here on my dabber. And you'll notice I normally don't ink, but on this one, it wasn't giving me enough of a edge. Even on this one, I can see like the white cardstock from the Anna Griffin flower things. So I'm just gonna make it a little inky. I don't like to ink my things because I think it makes them look dirty most of the time, but I will use it to blend things or for definition all the time. Okay, that paper's done. Super sticky. Let's do the giant one. These are cardstock, or at least a really thick paper. So you could have used art glitter glue on them. If you have Oohoo, you're probably okay for thick things. But if you don't have Oohoo, thick things typically peel up more than like a thin paper. And I really didn't need to glue that nearly as much as I did because I left half of it sticking off anyway. So, but if you're using a thin paper, you know, it doesn't peel off as much as the cardstock things do. I don't know if it has to do with weight or whatever, but cardstock things typically require a stronger glue. The thicker the thing, the thicker the element. Okay. There's those. So I don't know how many pockets that is. Again, we probably wouldn't put them all in the same journal, but let's trim these off so we can see the reveal of our hard work. And then what time is it? I got to watch my time today. It is 6. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and trim this wet glue. There's that one and that one. And that one. It just is a little rough right here, just from tearing it out of the book. So I'm just going to even that out. Then we have this one. And then we have this one. And we need labels on all of these. However, I probably don't have the labels in here that I want to use. You can use Rachel's labels. That's my plan. If they look right on the pocket. I'm not sure that they are. Like I can see some that they would work on and some that they will not work on. So you use whatever labels go with your things. I don't have everything in this craft room because it's not really my craft room. But we'll see what we have. I might have a Rachel label that is this kind of a colorway. Let me see where those are, first of all. And then we'll look at labels. We have how many hours left? 1 hour left, right? 1. Okay. I need to get making some other kind of pockets. So let me quickly look at labels. I don't know where I put the label. Here somewhere. I thought they were in this pile. They're not in this pile. No? I swear they were right here. Oh, they're right here. Yeah, they are right here. Okay. All of these first page are going to be too big on the little pockets. The ones that I made. I generally go with smallish labels. I knew that I wanted this pink one on this one, or at least I think that I do. So let's quickly, just so we can have one finished pocket, maybe, if this label works out. Is that going to be too big? It might be too big. Let me see. I do not know. But just so we can have one finished. And then you guys know I will put labels on them. And then essentially, unless I feel like it needs something else, they're done. These pockets. I will not put all of these pockets in the same journal. I will divide them up into the 3 journals. And in fact, I might not even use all of them across the 3 journals because they're very similar. These are pockets that you can make and you can use in any journal. It doesn't have to be this specific journal. German scrap? Of course it would. I'm going to use it. Rachel uses it all the time. She typically uses like scanned, printed out German scrap. She usually does not. I don't think she has. She has some antique original that she has scanned, but she doesn't normally use antique German scrap. She typically uses the printout kind. I think she even has a digital of it. I don't know for sure. That is kind of a large label, but this is a pocket, so I think I'm probably good with that on there. There is a small one, which is right here. Little bits of paper, and I just want to look at it before I commit and glue this. I'm going to just kind of rough cut it and then place it on there and see before I glue this one. So the good thing about her kit is I think we're going to use the big one. I mean, we're just going to do it. I don't have to cut out another one. We're going to do it. And then I'm going to thumb hole punch that. And all of these will get thumb hole punched. I don't know what I was saying, but I want to move on to making different pockets. Or we run out of time. Plus, we have our Masterboard still. So, I don't know what I was saying. Oh, German scrap. I don't know. Yes, we're going to use some. So, I use the whale tail from Stampin' Up! Punch for all of my thumb holes. I also use it for whale tails. I just happen to like the way it looks more than the circle that normal people use. When you use the whale tail, you get more of an elongated opening. I typically do not like that little circle. There's just something that bothers me about it. You use whatever you want to use, but I typically like that. So at least we have one done. I will thumb hole punch all of them. I will put labels on all of them, and then essentially they're done. But I won't use them all in the same journal. I'll break them up, but these are pockets that if I don't use them in this journal series, I'll just put them in my ephemera box and use them in other journals. These ones just have flowers. They could go in any journal. They're just a basic pocket. So that was those. Hopefully you guys are okay with me moving on so that we can see different things. And then, put these under your mat or a book or whatever to kind of keep them flat. From curling, just for at least, overnight. And then they'll be nice and flat when you put them in your book. And these they can go anywhere in your journal. They can go on rag paper. They can go, like typically I would find a page that they either look good next to or they look good on. Like, you kind of got to flip through your journal and find the right place to put it. I typically try to match up colors. Like I said, find a page that you like the colors. It has similar colors that work with these colors, or find a page where the colors over here match with these, you know. This is a tip for new people. Try to keep things somewhat color coordinated. I mean, you can go totally random, but just make sure it's eye appealing, you know, it appeals to your eye. And typically if it appeals to your eye, it will appeal to other people's eyes. I guess we already did one similar to this, and this one is with German scrap on it. I forgot we made that last time. So this one already has one. We didn't make it exactly the same. This one isn't made from a book page that's glued together. It was made from a Masterboard, but I don't know if there's a page in here that has like pink on it or not, but I was really looking for where this one was going to live permanently, and I haven't found it yet. So, I mean, you know, that's not terrible. Just find a place for it and glue it in. It could go there, but I really don't know if I want to cover that up. Anyway, that's that. I am going to be putting pockets very similar to these on the inside cover. I want to do a little more. There needs to be one more layer of this collage-y bit up here to kind of blend those two together. But I am going to put pockets on the inside cover, front and back. Very much like these, if not exactly these. We'll have to see how it goes. But so that's those. Moving on. You guys know last time we were together, we cut some cardstock into this angle. I showed you guys how to turn it so that you can cut it. One piece makes two pockets. I showed you guys that last time. We made these stamped fabric pockets. This is a tag that has a stamped fabric pocket. I was supposed to sew it around. I am still sewing fabric-y things, like if I used a fabric tab, I'm still sewing that. And this is also a stamped fabric pocket. And I did think about this more, and I'm going to come in with a script stamp and kind of just lightly pounce in some of these open areas with a script stamp. And I'll show you guys that when it's done. But that was what we did last time for pockets. I kind of forgot we did a little bit of those. Let's make something out of this guy. I mean, basically, these ones would be the same pocket, so maybe we won't do those. I don't know. Let me cut it and we'll see. This guy literally gets cut the same way every single time I make a 12 by 12 one, pretty much. On a 12 by 12 Masterboard, I typically cut off a 4-inch section. Why is this not behaving? A 4-inch section off the bottom, or, you know, one of the sides. It still wants to jump up there. It's because it's wiggly, wobbly. I don't know. Oh, wait, we can't do this yet. I have to trim off the edges. I'm like, why won't it line up? Because you didn't trim your edges. But I'll cut off a 4-inch section, and then the 4-inch section will either be journal cards or pockets. And then the other part of this, I will cut into 4 3-inch strips for tags. That's generally what I do with every 12 by 12 that I make of Masterboards. Another good base for Masterboards is, you know how when you get your junk mail, you get your mail and it's just full of junk mail? You know, all those little postcards that you get from, you know, companies advertising, and they send you this nice thick postcard. I like to keep those and collage on them. And I do want us to make a journal series together where this is quite rippled from being wet. But I want to make a journal with all of you. I want us all to make it together where you don't have to buy a kit. It's just you use your junk mail. So I said a couple videos ago to start saving up your junk mail. It doesn't have to be junk mail. It could be whatever you wanted. But why did I put that away? Start saving up your junk mail so that we have it whenever we get to that project. That project, I don't know when it's going to be. Probably when I saved up enough junk mail. But start saving your junk mail. Envelopes that come, that you're not going to, you know, send back in with, you know, your check or whatever. Start saving up those. start saving up all your junk mail bits. So this one, normally the 4-inch is journal cards for me. I'm just going to cut this right now into the tags. So from here, I do 3-inch tags. And this one is super ripply right now. And I'm fighting with it a little bit just because it's ripply. You can do 3.5 too, but the 3 allows me to get 4 long tags. So these are really, really long and really tall. And then from here, we would put whatever we wanted to decorate with on there. And you can see it's quite busy. But again, if it was too busy for me, depending on what I was putting on it, I would just take some book page and tear some book page to kind of give me a landing place for, you know, my focal point if it was too busy. And these tags would be super good with some book page put back on them and some of these botanical flowers put on them. So there's the tags. Let's do, since we did 4 inches, we're going to make a nice deep pocket. And I'm going to do it like 4 3/4. That will leave us a weird little bit here, but it'll just be a small tag. Any little bits that you have left over of Masterboards, they're just small tags. So that's the small tag. It really is cut straight, but it is wonky, bubbly Masterboard right now. So we have 2 of these kind of pockets. Let me do them quick. You make tags and pockets and belly bands or side sleeve out of your Masterboard. Yes, you can make anything out of a Masterboard. That's what's great about Masterboards. They can be anything. For these, I need a focal point for these. And I don't know that we necessarily have that in here. And I don't, let me look for a second and see what we're going to put on these. I wanted to use some of the German scrap that is like the people. These people are really, really big. They have to go on super big journaling cards or super big tags, but they are Victorian. So, you know, I don't mind using them. I could use flowers, but I'm not going to put them on there. But what about using, didn't we already make some pockets that had these on there? I don't know, but we could use those easily on those pockets. I thought we did. I don't know. I don't know where my stuff is that I've already made. Even these little children would be okay on there. I know we made some pockets or tags or something out of these already, or with these already. This little couple here, let me snip into this because this little couple here will be perfect on one of these. So I'm just going to use that German scrap that Christy was kind enough to remind me of. I have limited stuff in here, like literally a tote or 2 of just random stuff from other things that we've done. So we're just going to make these with the little peoples on them. I don't know if I want any more of these peoples, but I think I want to look at, let me put these back in there. Maybe not. let's cut one of these out. I know we made pockets or journal. I think we made journal cards out of a Masterboard, basically exactly what I'm doing, except for today I'm going to make pockets. I think we did. I think it was that Craft With Me that was actually before we started this journal series. So I cut out my thing, my people, my focal point. And then with the German scrap, they're connected together with those little thingies, the little papers. You just go in and cut them out like I just did, and then cut off those little tabs. The reason why your German scrap comes like that is because that's how it was originally made, but also to keep it safe and so that it doesn't get all bent up and torn before you decide to use it. and they are super easy to go in and snip off. It's way easier to cut off a little tab than it is to fussy cut these very ornate thingies, peoples. So I got to trim that one and that one. And this was a little bit more involved because it was 2 people. So there's that one. And I am going to put some book page behind them. And before I'm done, I love the colors of this one. Let's use this one. So these will be 2 more pockets that we made out of the Masterboard. Again, you could put botanical fussy cut flowers on there. If you had more Victorian people, you could put those on. I also want to put some fabric on some of these kind of pockets. And we'll do that either next time or I'll do it in a video and then show you guys. I'm going to cut this one because those people I'm not 100% sold on. I like them, but I also like this. So let me do it quick. German scrap, yes. German scrap, Victorian scrap. It's made in Germany, so all Victorian scrap pretty much made in Germany. America probably made some version of it, but what you guys are typically seeing out there is German scrap. They sold it all over the world, so it could have, been made in Germany and sold in France. Made in Germany, sold in America. So I just need, again, the background is just a little too busy, right? The people get lost in it. So this is where you come back over and put a little bit of book page behind them to kind of make them be able to be seen better. Let's use some of this book page. You got to decide which way you want your book page to go. And I know I do not want all that white on there, nor do I want to cover up all my flowers, but not loving that. Let me see. I might have to use these little people. I guess so. I think we're going to put it right there. So I still am going to put a label on these. Let me get my glue book. We're going to put this with that hard edge in there, I believe. I think so. I'm going to do it. Normally I wouldn't, but I know that I'm putting a label in there, and I kind of think, as busy as this is, that little bit of visual white space just kind of helps my eye not feel overwhelmed, and gives it kind of a little place to rest. We have a very busy collage. I love the collage in the background of these people. It's the perfect colorway for all of that. Normally with German scrap, I do use art glitter because, yes, I have it in every kind of butterfly, dog, cat, whatever. But normally with art glitter, I use, or with German scrap, I use art glitter because when I try to use my glue stick, sorry, there's a gob of art glitter here at the tip of this. When I use my glue stick on German scrap, there's a little poke out here, a little pop out. Because it's embossed, it eats up my glue stick so overly too much. So I really do like to use art glitter with it. You can use glue stick, but for me, it just eats it. My glue is being super weird right now. I think there was a little clog in there, and now it's too high pressured. So yeah, just get it on there. I always over glue these. I don't know why. I just do. Every time I'm using art glitter, I feel like I'm just using way too much. So we just want them straight. And so you can see I have that big white area right there. When I put a label on, it's going to take up some of it, but I really do like it with the white there. I know a lot of people wouldn't, but I do. It's kind of like it was just part of the collage, right? You put that piece on. So that's that one. I'm going to thumb hole punch it. And then that's going to be a pocket. And I'm making a lot of pockets. So I don't know if, I will use all of these pockets or not, but there's that one. Now let's see about this guy quick. Yeah, quick. This one, I kind of want that one that way. And see how he's just like, he's okay on there, but he's just a little too busy. Let me see about tearing this down. I certainly don't want to cover it all up. So on this one, I know I don't want the white. It's just how it looks to my eye. There really isn't a rhyme or a reason necessarily. I don't mind the hard edge. I don't want to lose that red though. Let me see. Now I've torn off my hard edge. Let's see if I like that better. That's okay. I'm going to tear this a little bit just to not have that grungy book edge on there. I think we're good there. And let's glue that. I'll leave it a little more off-centered, I think. It's almost too small of a book page. I kind of want it like that. We'll play with it. I almost needed a little bit more book page, and sometimes I do cheat and piece them in like that. I might have to do that. We'll see. Let's get our book page down first. I don't know what I was talking about, but I still want to make one more pocket. And I left my art glitter open. Don't ever leave your art glitter open. That may not have been where I wanted it, but it's where it went. We're good. I'm gonna bring this down a little bit, maybe. And then I do want this little piece popping out right here. No one is going to know other than you and I that I pieced that in. And it does have a torn edge on one side. Who cares if you piece it in? Nobody. Right there. Perfect. And then we're going to glue this. And I'm going to be fast about it. Maybe keep falling off. As long as you're piecing your little, paper bit in underneath something that you're gluing something else over, it's totally safe. It's not gonna peel up or anything like that. So there's that one. Let's trim these off. I'm going to lose a little bit of precious German scrap flower down there at the bottom, but we're good. And that was our glitter, and it stuck all over my scissors. Okay. I might save those little bits, and we'll throw those away. Let's thumb hole punch that one. You like those? The German scrap honestly makes everything look pretty. The same thing with the Italian paper. If you guys have and I know I sell it, so you have to take this with a grain of salt, but if you guys have pretty things, it doesn't matter where you got it from, doesn't matter if you got it from me or anybody else. If you have pretty things to make pretty things out of, it really cannot fail. I'm not saying that these are the best. I am going to stick a label in this area and then probably in this area of that one, or I might stick something coming down here. I will play with these later, but if you guys start out with pretty things, it's really easy to make pretty things. This is not, there's nothing that I did here that's hard. It's super, super basic and just regular pockets. These are a really good size pocket because they're 4 inches tall. And gosh, that is pretty right there. So I think this one's going here, and I may put this one here. Doesn't really go there, but this one could go in a different journal maybe, but I do want that one there. There's nothing that I'm going to find that is going to be better than this to put right there. Let me hold it back where you guys can see it. The reds match, the greens match. They look very lovely there. And it's a good size because it's 4 inches and the width is good. So this one's going to go there, although I do want to finish decorating it and possibly ink it, only because the tones of the paper, see this tone here of the creamy paper is very similar to that one. So in this instance, I would ink around the edge. Yes, you must use your pretties and not hoard them. So we're going to leave that pocket in there because I want to put it there. And then this one is just going in our pile. He can go in the front cover of another journal. I have this cut out so we could use it for something. Let's make another pocket. And let me close my glue before I cry when it's clogged. The glue clogs super fast here because it's so dang dry. Yep, it's so dang dry here. The air is so dry, which is great in most instances, but whenever you're like a crafter, all of your glues and paints and everything like that, they dry super quick. Okay. Let's do another pocket. I had a pile of things that I wanted to turn into pockets, and I want to make a belly band. I don't know where my pile of things has gone, but give me just 1 second to look for it. And I promise that I will organize this mess. I don't know when, but at some point. Let me jump up and see if it's in this bin behind me. My chair is stuck between my craft cart and my shelf. Let me see what I've got in my bin. Fabric. We could definitely play with a fabric pocket. There's those pockets, but I showed you those last time. There's these. Okay, this is the pile. This is the pile of copy dyed goodies. Okay. I gotta fight with my chair again. Well, I guess I'm just not getting to squish all the way up. So this fabric pack, I don't know if it is available anymore, but it's Antoinette from the French General. It has a lot of like Frenchy, French-inspired fabrics in it. I don't know if they will all that's quintessentially French, right? I don't know if they will all work in this journal, but I know that one will. And I know some of these other ones will. So we might make fabric pockets. The plan is to make fabric pockets out of these. I'm skipping a whole chunk. They just don't want to separate perfectly right now. I know there's the blue colorway too with the birds. I did give you guys a square of French General fabric, mostly in the reddish tones. There was taupey tones also, but you could use your square to cut up and use as little fabric accents. You could cut little strips for the tag tops, sew them on or glue them on, or just take this piece and make it into a fabric pocket or a fabric flip even. So there's those. We can use those. These are coffee dyed coin envelopes. You did get a coin envelope, I believe, in your kit. So I'm going to use these as pockets. Your coin envelope is a slightly different size. I just already had these coffee dyed, so I wanted to use coffee dye. But this one is a really nice length for one of these tall tags that we'll make to go in there. And then this will just get glued or paper clipped in to the side of a page. You can decorate it where the opening is, you know, here on this side, and then this is your front, and decorate it and glue this flap open so that your tag can go in and out. You can glue this on as a tuck this way and then a tag in the front here. Or you can decorate this side and use it like this and fold this over. And just kind of let it flap, or you can glue it down, but kind of tack it down, but not all the way. And then it could even still be a tuck here. You can use these coin envelopes many, many different ways, but I have 3 coin envelopes because I am going to put a coin envelope in each one of the journals. I have coffee dyed window envelopes. So if you guys want to do some coffee dyeing before next time or whatever, I do have some coffee dyed window envelopes that I want to put in the journal, and I'm just going to paste them in and decorate them. We can do that now. This will be the project, probably the last one given time. But if you have an envelope, any kind of envelope, it doesn't have to have a window in it. The one I'm going to use does have a window in it because I'm going to put a tag or something in there that we're going to be able to see. But this is the project I'm going to do. I'm going to glue this flap part down to a page, and then this envelope is going to be able to turn like a little flip out. And then these were given to me as a gift when I bought something online, and I kind of thought that they looked Italian. I don't know what they are exactly, like maybe like menus or something. I'm not really sure, but they looked Italian, so I wanted to do something with them. Maybe they could be a belly band. They're kind of wide though, or maybe I'll just tuck it in for writing space. This is a good, maybe it's just a journal card. I don't know, but there's those. I pulled them out at some point. Let's do the envelopes. Maybe we'll get time for both of these kind of envelopes. Maybe we won't. Yours do not have to be coffee dyed. Yours can be regular because we're going to cover probably all of it anyway. I'm not sure, but let's find a place for some of these things in this one. This one, you know, I do want to glue in now, I think. So I just kind of need to find a spot where I want that. First of all, this is going to glue over the page. So you got to find a spot where you want to see, you know, that part. You can glue it where you don't see it. If you glued it this way on a page, right? So you're going to glue it here, and then it's going to flip that way so that you don't have the overhang. That's a little less secure of a glue, but, you know, it doesn't have to be Fort Knox. Nobody's going to be, you know, harsh with their journal. So you just got to find a spot that you want to play with your envelope. If you want time to grab an envelope, I'm going to look for a spot for this for a second. So I don't want to take writing space. So my coffee dyed papers I'm leaving. I will do a little embellishing on them, but I want to leave them for writing space. So I don't want to add anything to those pages. This page, I mean, we could put it there. I don't think I want it there because we have that tuck there too. That tuck needs glued down because it just keeps bothering me. I don't want to cover the ladies or any of that. I don't want to put it there. I'm putting a full page thing there. It might go here. We need a pocket here anyway. It might go there. Let me hold that spot. Unless we had a pocket that we wanted to stick there. It could go there, but we got coffee dye. That already has a little flip out and a pocket. And there's that pocket there and a bag. I don't want to put it in my middle section. There's a pocket there. So I think we're going to put it over there. I don't like this, but that needs something else. I don't know what. You could put it there and have coffee dye with coffee dye. I don't want to cover up the A. This is where, you know, it just takes me forever to make these decisions. We made this tuck last time with stamped fabric for the decoration. I think we're going to put it where my finger is. Yeah. Okay, so right here. For this one, let me look see what's on the other page. So I could have that little bit right there. You could just paper clip this in too. That's a really good option to just kind of paper clip it there. When you paper clip it, you can't turn it. So keep that in mind. I'm not going to cover this up because a pocket needs to go here. So if I put this here, we're going to have this here and a pocket right here. That's an awful lot on one page. That's an awful lot of weight on one page. So now I'm going back to the front again. Give me one more second to look. I got to find the right spot. I may have to stick it there, even though I don't want to stick it there. This is where it gets hard. I don't want to cover up any of Rachel's pretties. What about right here on this one? I don't want to cover up that flower. Okay, well, I guess we're just going to have extra pockets there because it's going right there. That's pretty much the only spot I see for it in this specific journal. Let's go ahead. The other journals, I think the papers are in different orders, so it may look better in the other ones, but for now we're going to put it here. It's coffee dyed. I don't have to cover up the whole thing. I could just decorate a little bit here, but it's just going to be glued down on this side right here. And then you're going to be able to slip your tag. So say this was a tag. You're going to slip it inside of your envelope like this. Now this one's too tall, so it sticks out. But when it folds over, you're going to be able to see whatever's on your tag or your journal card through your envelope little window. That's why I kind of wanted to use a window one. So let's just go ahead and get this decorated and glued down. For this guy, I know I want some Italian paper going up there, and I just want to choose Italian paper that kind of goes with the page that's here. So let me move this fabric and find some Italian paper. Italian paper is just, it's the easiest thing for me to do there. If I had some other printed collage paper or something like that, we could definitely use that there too. We could make a little cluster and just kind of decorate a little cluster there. I think I want the blue. Yeah, definitely the blue. So let's just kind of glue that on there. Let's just glue this to this. I don't want to cover my window up, but I'm just kind of trying to, yeah, and go over a little bit further. Just trying to do it without picking it up. Yeah, I gotta pick it up so you can see. Okay. I'm getting it right up to where my window is, but not covering it. And I'm going to stick that down as my first layer, and then I'm going to cut it off. And then I'm going to glue on something else. And you're like, are you only going to use Italian paper to decorate? No, I'm not. But that's what I have in front of me today. When I come back next time, we will be using some different things. Now, am I going to use Italian paper a lot? Yes, because it's an Italian ladies journal. Again, if you don't have Italian paper, use any pattern paper where it's got like an all over pattern. So there's that right there. I don't know if I want to collage the whole thing. I don't think I do. I kind of like some coffee dye showing. Maybe something going across the bottom right here though. I want to make another pocket that's like a folded pocket. There's this. I think that's a little too dark and red. I'm looking at my scraps and all of these other little bits and pieces over here. I have these. There's a little book page. We could use a little book page. This is where it gets tricky because I would like my book page to come here and over here. So that being said, we'll use this book page. I think I cut that too skinny. I'm going to use this book page. This book page. You sewed your large envelope in. That's okay. You can use anything that you want to do. You did a coffee dye. I did coffee dye the envelope. Cool, cool. Everyone's journal is going to be different. They shouldn't be exactly one for one, right? They should be different. It's not going to be enough there, but it's a start. Okay, so I'm not going to cover up my window. Do I have pencil in here? Probably not. If I had a pencil in here, you can feel, I need a pencil. Oh, I do. Cool. You can feel where the plastic is and where the envelope piece, the paper piece also is. So what I'm trying to do is to make a piece that is roughly, this is getting difficult, roughly kind of outlined roughly where that envelope window is. And I'm just taking a stab in the dark at it. Is it going to be perfect? No. Is there a better way to do this? Probably. But for right now, this is what I'm coming up with. Okay. So let's take a look at what that would look like. I like it. Maybe not quite as high there. Let me see what that looks like glued down. I don't think I want this little piece here, but I'm afraid to tear it off. So let me see what it looks like. That's all I can do. So everyone's journal that they're making, some people in the group, like if you're in the Facebook group, and I didn't put a link in, but I will put a link to our Facebook group or to my Facebook group. The Facebook group, people are posting what they're making for their journals. Everyone did not purchase a kit that is making the Italian Ladies Journal. So a lot of people, you'll see, are making a completely different journal than the one that I am making. You know, everyone's journal is going to look different no matter what, but some people didn't buy the kit, and so they are using different supplies. And I love that. I love that not everybody's journal looks identical. I mean, it wouldn't look identical anyway, because everybody makes it different. But I love the fact that you guys are doing, you know, different things. And the people that didn't get the kit, like when they post their pictures, I'm like, that's amazing. And it gives me ideas of like, oh, okay, well, you know, I could bring that in and I could use that to kind of, you know, decorate something or play with something. It's maybe a supply I didn't think of using or something. So I really like the fact that there's a lot of variety. I love that. We're going to put a focal point right here. So that's good. I love the fact that we've got that maintained the window. Cool. Not necessarily in love with that part. Kind of wish I would have tore it off, but I don't care. I'm leaving it. Let's put something here. Do we want one of those other little children? Sticky glue page stuck to me. We have some other little Now the landscapers are across the street with the blower. Apologies if you can hear that. Let's use one of those other little, there was a tall, these. This is what you don't want of your German scrap, of them all getting stuck. I would suggest once you cut into the page to cut them all. You don't have to cut all the tabs off, but at least cut the elements out, because if you leave it like this, they're gonna tear. So I'm just cutting this little boy out. And I think I'm going to stick him right there. I like the brown kind of clothing. And then we're going to add a label. And then we did that side of that. We also need, you don't have to, but I need to decorate this side, or at least put writing paper or something there. So there's the window envelope. If you didn't want to use it this way, as like a flip out, you could of course sew it in your signature. You could cut the top off of it and slide your tag in from the top, which we might do. I might close up this entire back part. I think I probably would, because when you use your envelope like this one isn't so bad because it does flip out and you can slide it all the way in, right? Your journal card. But sometimes it's a little awkward to get things in and out like this, whereas coming from the top, it's a lot easier. Plus we have tall tags, so I'm not sure exactly which way we'll go there, but I have this really little tiny, my scissors are too big to cut out this tiny little section here. I have to get the little fussy cutting scissors. He has a hoop, an antique hoop toy. The precursor to hula hoops. And so there was a little tab that needed cut there. Let me glue him in. I don't know what we'll use for a label here yet, but at least we decorated that side. And then I'm probably leaving that open up there, more than likely. Gluing the hula hoop thingy is fiddly. It's very, very thin. I'll show you here in a second. And I just want to make sure where I have this hard edge, I knew I was putting a focal point here, so I'm just putting my kid's leg right over that hard edge. So this is what we have. And so that's cool for there. 20 minutes. Let me see about this back side of this. If we glue that there, there's going to be a label, so I'm good with that side. If you put something back here, let me find something to show you. And not that I would put this there, but if you put something here and you want to seal it, like seal up your envelope, make sure that you don't glue where this is open here. It's very, very easy to forget and just glue a piece of paper here. And if you do that, when you go to slide your tag in from the top, you're not going to be able to slide it except for right here. Does that make sense to everybody? Like if you glue a piece of paper to close this, like I'm probably about to do, don't glue where your envelope is open here. Only glue on this side. Don't glue in here. If you did, it's going to close that section off and all you're going to have is this section here to put something. Does that make sense? I hope so. But anyway, we have ledger here. I thought about putting ledger there just as a little decorative thing. We didn't use ledger today at all, and that makes me sad. So next time I want to use a bunch of ledger and handwritten stuff. I don't want to put ledger there because there already is ledger there. What else do I have in here to put there? This is nearly, oh my goodness. That is nearly the exact size for that. Maybe I'll just make it where there's like flip out writing space on that side. like that. Maybe. I'm not sold on that either. Do I want to decorate that whole thing? Or do I want to put a hidden writing spot right there? Let's do you guys want to vote? Decorate it or put hidden writing spot? I mean, you could literally just put coffee dyed paper as a hidden writing spot too. And save this for another place. I don't know. I can't decide what I want to do right there. I think I want to decorate it. Nobody's voting, so I know it takes you guys a minute, but I think maybe, what else could we do? We could add like an extra page into here. Let's do that. Let's add a page. I need a book page. Where's that German book at? It's about the right size. I'm going to add an extra page, a turnable page into this journal right there. This is about the right size. I don't know where all the ones are that I tore out. Maybe I used them all already. So for this one, I do want one that is sewn in and closed. It's just going to make it that much easier. I don't know if this is one I can get or what, but we're going to see. Yes, okay. There's that. So for this one, I'm going to make this a turnable page so that when you won't be able to see that there's a turnable page here, but when you open it up, this page is going to be glued to the envelope, and then this page will also be loose as a turnable page. How am I going to do that, you say? I could stitch it right there. I could glue it to the flappy thing and just have it open. I'm not sure, but I want a turnable page right here. The question is, do I want a turnable page of coffee dye? I don't know. Let's trim off this. Where's my trimmer? We got to trim off the little edge of this book page, this part. It overhangs and I don't want it there anyway, so let's trim it. We're going to trim the height here in a second too. I do want to cut it straight, but it's folded, so it's a little bit hard for me to get straight. Let's cut it there. So I'm going to eat up the last 15 minutes with my squirrel here. So that one's going there. And it's got the wormy things. I think the little wormy thing is super cool. That's good. Do I want that sticking out of the top right there? This right here. It's cool. We could do it. So that's going to open like that. Will that mess up sticking a tag in it though? Let me cut this open first before we move on any further. So to cut it open, you're just going to take a small, tiny little sliver. I mean, I literally cut the tiniest little sliver off the top of that. And that's what's going to allow you to stick a tag down in there. I'm going to thumb hole punch it right here just to make it a little easier. Oops, there went my fussy cutting scissors on the floor. And just a little one there. Perfect. There's that side. I just got to decide what I want to see when I flip this open. Yeah, it's a European thing. We don't normally have like wormhole paper in America. They have the bookworms there. We may have them here, but I honestly have never seen American wormy hole paper. And that, I mean, I've seen a whole lot of antiques and I've never seen that. So Not to say it's impossible. If you do find it here, it's typically in a book that came from over there. So let's glue this closed before I move on to anything else, I think. Let me plan this out. That's going to be there. I think I want to put little pockets in here maybe, and some writing space here. Do I want to put that in? No, that's how we're attaching it. Okay, let's glue this. So like I was saying, don't glue that area. Don't glue that area. So for me, that means gluing, 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 gluing. And I'm trying, since I'm gluing rag paper, to get glue everywhere. I don't want to have a bubble. And this one, I'm going to line up with the bottom. So now it opens up like that. And if I have one of those tall tags as a placeholder, it will slide in right here. So that's kind of just a placeholder for now. There will be something pretty on whatever tag we use. We're probably not going to use this exact one because it's like collagey, but that's a placeholder for right there. So then this needs to glue into our book like this, but I need to decide what else I want to do here. I'll leave this alone because I'll probably put like little pockets or something, or writing space right here, I think. I might actually, I have a plan. I have a plan. I need a piece of coffee dyed paper. I would prefer something a little on the thicker side. Let me see where something is. I don't want, you could use straw paper right there too. I want a nice piece. Do I want this? No, it's too thin. I want something thick and sturdy. You know, for someone who has a lot of coffee dyed paper, maybe I could find a piece when I wanted a piece of coffee dyed paper. So when I glue this in right here, I don't want to see this little envelope bit. I'm going to take, after I glue it, a piece of coffee dyed paper and tear it at a little rough angle. I'm going to start it now. I'm just going to tear it so that when I glue that down onto my page, I'm going to glue this little bit of coffee dyed paper over it. And that will be a writing space right here, just to cover that little flap. I just don't want to see that little envelopey flap right there, but I do want to use it to stick this into my book. The only thing that I'm having an issue with right now is we need to close up our pocket here. So I'm going to use art glitter for that. You need to be careful when you do it that you glue only on the very, very edge of this. Don't follow your envelope in here because that's that part that I said not to glue. So just glue on the very, very edge with art glitter glue to close up your pocket so that your tag will stay in there and not fall out. Perfect. So now when you stick your tag in, it's closed and it won't pop out this side anymore. Okay, so that's done. Then I think we're free to glue this in other than putting something here. I think I'm going to decorate that. I think I'm going to probably put more Italian paper or something and decorate that, but that can wait for a minute. So let's go ahead and glue this in. I am going to use art glitter. It's a flip out element, and I feel like art glitter holds flip out elements better than a glue stick would. So just get your strongest glue for any type of interactive element and go to town. Now I want to make sure that I do not glue any pages behind this page. This journal's not going to do it. It's not a floppy enough cover. Use something and put it underneath so that if you happen to get glue over, you're not gluing all of your pages. And then just put it down. Try to make sure that it's all the way to the edge of the page. With art glitter, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. So that's pretty much where art glitter is letting me put it. So it flips out. And we're going to have a little bit of something in here. And then we're going to have some writing space right here. So it wasn't a total loss of this page either. You have some writing space here, but now I'm going to stick this in there. And I don't know if I want to see it. I kind of think I don't want to see it. So I'm going to re-tear this a little bit closer. Okay, that'll work for me. And then I'm going to glue stick that in. It's just a little interactive thing. It was impromptu. It was not planned. So we are going to go a little bit over. For anyone who does not, you're not able to stay or whatever, I'm going to go just a little bit over to finish this project. Sometimes I do that. You guys are not obligated to stay. You're never obligated to stay. And I'm so super appreciative that you guys joined me today. Thank you. That was awesome. Craft with me's are only fun if it's craft with me and people are here. Otherwise, I would just be like in my room crafting on my own. I did leave a straight edge up there. It's kind of late for it now, so it's just staying, but whatever. It's not horrible. But craft with me's are only fun if you guys are here. So then I glued that down for some hidden writing space. And then this part I'm going to trim off here in just a second. I want to make sure it's glued to my page, but then I will come back and trim that. So I can remove that one now. And I just need to decide what we want here. Like I could have folded my coffee dyed paper and glued the other part here. That would have been cool had I thought about that. I would have just taken the sheet of paper and folded it, and then there would have been a nice torn edge over here. So if you haven't done this yet, take your piece of coffee dyed paper, the whole sheet, fold it in half, and then tear down your edge and then stick your fold in, and you'll have coffee dyed on both sides. I didn't do it. I'm going to decorate right here just so that when you have this all open, there is something pretty to look at there. And then inside of here, I might stick some little pockets. I might just decorate. I don't know, but let's see. Let's decorate this side first. I want something pretty right here, and we have a lot of space. So let me see if there was one of those botanical flowers that was tall that we could use here. I know that there were more, but I don't know where they are. So let's find one. Let's put a botanical there. Something that goes with the page, and this one does. I think there's two here. This paper is so, this paper is so thin that you cannot help but tear out two when you mean to tear out one. I like the color here with the color here. So I'm going to try to use this one. I did drop my fussy cutting scissors. You want to see how it turns out? It's a mystery to me too. I've never done it like that before, but you know, I was thinking about it and I'm like, well, let's just put it in there. Oh goodness, I'm fighting with my chair again. There we go. There's not room for the craft cart and the chair with there's a whole bin of books that just came the other day sitting on the other side of the craft cart. See, you could fussy tear this. This flower has a very like ruffly edge to it. So I'm just going to kind of wiggle my cut and make it ruffly. I'm not trying to match the flower edge other than ruffly. So, on Tuesday, I am going to have a live sale, just like my normal live sale. However, my son has his biopsy on Tuesday. So pay attention to the start time posted in YouTube. And if I know that we're running late, because it is an hour away, his biopsy. It's at MD Anderson, so it's at the cancer center, and that's an hour away from us. So I might run late. It depends on how quick that they are with the biopsy. I think he will be fine to like get the biopsy and then come home and, you know, be left, you know, like I'll be in here. I think he's going to be fine with it. If something happens and he's not, or, you know, he has some kind of reaction to something or whatever, you might see me, if I'm late, push the start time back. And if there's something comes up and, you know, he's not able to be left right after he has that biopsy alone for 3 or 4 hours, then I might reschedule my live sale to a different day. I will post the link and send the email on Tuesday morning like I normally do. So the link will be up in YouTube. The video will be up like as upcoming in YouTube. But pay attention to the start time that it says there, because it might get pushed back. Or if something happens and it says rescheduled, just know that, you know, I will reschedule it and come either the next day or as soon as I'm able to do it. Financially, I do need to keep doing the live sales, even though he is very sick and, you know, I need to be with him and stuff. But one of the best things I can do for our situation with him is to continue to work so that as his medical expenses come up and he needs things, you know, I can afford to do them. And also, should something get really bad with him and there be a time where he is so sick that I cannot work and I have to spend, you know, all time with him, or, you know, I want to, or whatever, I just need to be financially prepared enough that if that happens, that I can do it and I'm okay. So that's why, you know, while my son is very sick, that's why I am still working and doing this, because I don't know what the situation is going to be with them. And I want to be prepared for, let's just say, the worst, so that if there is a time where I'm not able to work, at least, you know, we have some money in the bank to where, you know, I could still make it, or, you know, whatever. So some people were quite cruel about, well, if her son is so sick, why is she working still? Or why is she still doing live sales? If your son is so sick, then you need to stop doing live sales until you can focus on live sales. And I do apologize to those people. I know that they're not my friends, but I apologize to those people. I am doing the best that I can. And I know all of you guys understand that. Thank you guys for being so understanding. I do appreciate it. So I am going to put something else there. I think I don't want just that flower. Like, I don't know, maybe it needs to go here. My eye is just, it kind of wants to decorate the whole thing. Are you guys seeing it with me? I don't know. he looks lonely over here, and to me, he just needs to blend that edge there. I don't know. I might end up putting it there. We'll see. But thank you guys so much for always being so understanding about what is going on. I wish that we could get it taken care of to where, you know, I could be more dependable. And I mean, I think I am pretty dependable, but, you know, obviously there's just going to be times. I'm going to cut out this other little flower. I think we might use it. So I'm trying my hardest to do everything as good as I can do for you guys, and also for him. Somebody was saying, you need to, how did they phrase it? You need to do some self-care. Make sure you get in some self-care and, like, you know, take care of yourself so that you can, you know, take care of him. And absolutely, you're absolutely right. My self-care currently consists of the 2 minutes in the morning where I brush my teeth and the 2 minutes in the evening when I brush my teeth. Because I was trying to think, like, okay, well, you know, during those 2 minutes, I can think of some positive things and, like, think of some happy things and try to relax a little bit. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's 4 minutes. I can do it. Usually my mind starts wandering to other things like, oh, I got to go do that. And I got to go do that. And I think as women, we make lists in our brain like way too often. Like everything is a list. I don't know if I want flower to flower there. That may go inside, but I definitely like that little flower. I know. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That has, you know, how are you going to take care of your sick son if you don't have electricity or you can't pay your housing bill? Like how? So anyway, that's what's going on. I'm just honest. I think we'll probably decorate that somewhere in here, like on a pocket or whatever. I don't know. I was kind of thinking about, well, what if we did like a little garden here? But then what was the point of putting the coffee dye? I don't know. I don't know where we need to go here, but we need to decorate this. I tried cutting out some flowers. I'm not sure that that is exactly what I want. I think I need some Italian paper or possibly even like this green antique wallpaper torn here. Let's see what that looks like, because this is a little too bright. Let's see what this looks like. It's a little open, but maybe I can't put green on green. I don't know. We're just going to tear it and we're going to see. I'm trying to figure out which piece of this do I want, and I think I want it right here. I'm going to cover up that little wormy hole there. What if we did something like that? Too much green? Can this guy go there? Not really. What if we put him back over here and we find something else to decorate this one with? Not a flower. Or maybe I am going to stick this here. I don't know. I can't make up my mind now. But I do want this wallpapery stuff on here, so let's put that on. I lost my glue book again. I know. I know. I did tear this the other way by accident, so I'm going to ink this edge. There's just a little bit of the white papery fiber stuff showing, but the color of this creamy stuff allows me to just kind of ink it and be good. So we're just inking that edge a little bit, and then we'll put it on. It's okay. I'm really praying that the biopsy is fine. The ultrasound results showed a very large lymph node that looks like it has necrosis inside of it. So like the lymph node is dying on itself. So that's what it showed. I think I'm going to use a big piece of it there. Hopefully I'm not. Got to get it where it covers the crack right there. That's what the results showed. But they told us at the ultrasound, like the ultrasound technician was very adamant. Go get it. You're going to need a biopsy. Make sure you get a biopsy. So he saw something in it. And then my son's doctor, he ordered the biopsy straight away without like, seeing us or anything like that. So, and then they scheduled it at the MD Anderson place, the MD Anderson cancer place. I don't know if that's just because, he already he's gonna have an appointment there, so maybe they just sent it there. They also moved up his appointment. His appointment at MD Anderson. So the first appointment at MD Anderson was it's scheduled for October, the last week of October. Then they made him a new MD Anderson appointment when we told them about the lymph node in his neck. And we had told them about the lymph node in his neck the whole entire time for 5 months ago. It's been 5 months. We told them about the lymph node 5 months ago. The first doctor felt the lymph node 5 months ago. And then nobody paid any attention. Nobody double checked it. Nobody did anything the whole entire time he had the fever. They were like, let's give him this antibiotic. Let's give him that antibiotic, whatever. So they didn't do anything about the lymph node. And then, because I'm racking my brain, like, why does this kid still have a fever? I'm going to ink around this just to see how I like it with that. I was like, well, what about the lymph node in his neck? And it's still like, I saw it one day, like in his room. I was sitting on his bed and I was just looking at him sitting in his chair. And I was like, I see the lymph node. Like, what is this sticking out of your neck? And he's like, well, it's a bump back there. And I'm like, the same bump? Like, because I was shocked. Like, I didn't know it was still necessarily there either. But it was like, you could see it sticking out of his neck. And so then I was like, well, we need to tell the doctor about it as soon as we see him again. And I told the first, he couldn't get in with his regular doctor because they never can see people when they're sick. And so we had to see a nurse practitioner. And I told the nurse practitioner about the bump. The whole appointment was for the bump. And she like mashed all around on his neck. And like he kept saying it was hurting. Like, she was like really, really pushing hard. And at one point I told her, I'm like, but look, I can feel it just by rubbing my finger over like the skin of his neck. I'm like, I don't think you have to push that hard. It's not deep. And she's like, well, I'm trying to see like, if I can feel it. And I'm like, I can touch it right here. Like it's right here. And I tried to help her find it. And she said she couldn't find it. And then so they did nothing for a whole nother month, because when I asked them to do an ultrasound, because I knew it was there, and they were denying it was there basically at that point. I'm like, well, can you order imaging because ultrasound, because I can see it, I can feel it, I know it's there. And she's like, no, we can't. Infectious disease is who sees your son now, so you need to ask every single thing that you want done has to go through the infectious disease specialist. And I'm like, but you guys are his primary care physician. I don't understand why he would have to go through them when the infectious disease doctor told us I'm only here 5 days a month. When I'm not here, everything goes through primary care. So they were basically both like not wanting to take care of my son. I think I am going to stick that there just for lack of anything else. But I think maybe we should stick a label here and then put the flower. So let me look at labels. And then let me look at your comments. I'm taking a break using your phone, not all caps. I see. Okay, so I could put some music down there, but we kind of already have book page. I want to see what a label looks down there. So anyway, they were playing around like, first of all, she's like, I don't see anything. Second of all, she's like, well, I can't order it. And so it was like a whole nother month before I finally like could get into his primary care doctor. And I'm like, I need you to order an ultrasound for this poor kid. Like, I know it is there. The first doctor saw it, felt it, and said it feels like a lymph node. So this one is a little bit like matchy to me. let's see what this looks like. So I was very frustrated. I am very frustrated. I kind of let the doctor have another piece of my mind the other time when I was there this week. Maybe we need a big label here. Let me see what one of these giant ones looks like. But anyway, I have been super frustrated, and I do apologize. Like, I am getting like a little bit too upset with my son's doctor, probably. I'm being a little bit too like, I just need you to do this kind of a mom right now. But honestly, like, it's really, really frustrating. So then they finally ordered the ultrasound, and then we get to the place to do the ultrasound, which I believe was Monday morning. Yeah, it was Monday morning. And so we get the place to do the ultrasound. It's an hour and 15 minutes away. It's the big hospital in Phoenix. And then the ultrasound guy comes out and he's like, yeah, what did the doctor want? Because his orders don't make any sense. Like, he ordered this, this, and this, and I don't think these are the right tests. And basically his orders, they don't make any sense, and we can't do your test until I talk to your doctor. So then we had to wait for him to contact the doctor's office. And I think I'm just going to cover up that little rose that's right there and put that there. I think I am. I'm going to do that. So, let's glue these down. I'm going to ink this just because I inked everything else, and just very lightly. I don't like, if I ink, then I ink everything. I don't know. I don't want to leave it. So anyway, it was a fiasco to get the ultrasound done, was my whole point of that. But now that we did it, at least they can see something. And it still could be where, you know, the thing in his neck is just an infection, like, you know, it's a lymph node. It could be from an infection. In my mind, that's what I'm hoping it is. We will see. I'm going to leave a little bit showing down at the bottom. So I'm not putting the label all the way. I'm leaving a little green showing there. That's cool. I like it. We're good. And then for this flower, it's kind of fiddly. I don't know if I trust a glue stick. Let's see. Let's see if I trust a glue stick. It's very, very fiddly. It is slick, shiny paper, though. So, I mean, it's not super shiny, but it's slick paper anyway. Let's try it. So I'll let you guys know when I know something. Obviously, you know, if you guys are the praying type, then prayers are appreciated. And if you're not, then that's okay too. Well wishes are appreciated. Anyway, let's do it. I'm not calm anymore at the doctor's. I actually was like, this last time, I'm like, look, I know you are busy. I know you have a lot of patients. However, this patient is my son. And as his mom, it is my job to fight for my son and to make sure that things start moving in a much faster direction. Like, seriously, stop telling me that you can't do things and that we need to wait like weeks. And he doesn't have any available appointments, my son's primary care, until like October or November. Like, stop telling me you don't have any appointments. Like, he needs an appointment kind of a thing. I don't know. So that's that for now. I don't love that. I'm going to try to squeeze it over a little bit. That's better. So that's cool. I like it. I think it's pretty. We'll do some pockets in here. For the pockets in here, I could have used some of these labels as pockets. I mean, I just used one here, so I'm not going to, but I'm just showing you. You could have just used one of these giant labels as a pocket there. It's the right size. Anyway, the little envelope is. You're loving the flower. Thank you, guys. Thank you. So let's put some pockets in here with something. Probably just going to be lazy and use Italian paper because it's right here in front of me. I have some I should have used some of this there, actually. I just forgot that I had this one. I don't want to stick it in there, but I like it. Let me see. I also have, it's the kind of blue and reddish tones. I think it's okay for a couple little pockets right there. Let me cut one and see. I'm just looking what I have here and trying to figure it out. For these little guys, I'm thinking like a 3-inch tall pocket. So anyway, I have been kind of like, I told the doctor because my son saw this primary care doctor. I'm trying to cut this in half, but it may not be exactly. Oh, it is. Okay. My son saw this primary care doctor one day, like Thursday. And then my son had an appointment with the ENT specialist on Friday. Well, when he gets to the ENT specialist, the doctor on Thursday did not examine my son. He literally never examines my son. And my son is really sick. So I don't know why you wouldn't start examining him every time you saw him. But he doesn't. And he doesn't see him very often. So he didn't examine my son. And then he goes to the ENT doctor. And the first doctor, the primary care doctor, didn't know he had an ENT appointment the next day. That's not why he, didn't examine him. He just never examines anyone. They just literally don't do exams. If you tell them, like, I think I broke my ankle, they might look at your ankle. But when you have a fever for 5 months, they don't look in your ears. They don't look in your mouth. They don't listen to you breathe. They literally do nothing other than ask you some questions every time you go there. So anyway, he goes there like on Thursday. And the doctor doesn't, he's like, oh, well, whatever. He doesn't really do anything. He doesn't order anything. Literally nothing happens. Then, I don't know. I don't think I can use same, can I? I don't know. I'm going to glue one down. I better decorate them first. Anyway, so he goes to the ENT and the ENT says, hey, he has a fungal infection. And I'm like, he was just at the primary care doctor the day before. Why didn't the primary care doctor do an exam to find this? Because what if we didn't have an ENT appointment the next day who found it? My son would literally not be able to get back into any doctor for weeks and weeks and had a fungal infection. A fungal infection, it was thrush. I'll just be honest with you. It was thrush. If you had even asked him to open his mouth, you would have saw it. But you didn't, because as soon as he opened his mouth at the ENT, you could tell he had thrush. I was just beyond tired of this doctor's just not doing his job. I'm just going to be honest. He's not doing his job. And I should be calm and patient and whatever. But that time has kind of passed for me. So I am a little frustrated. Yes, I know. Just one. It is too much for two. However, I want to see what they look like after I decorate them. I'm thinking we should put some of this rag paper music on them. So I was really like, I told the doctor, I said, so when we were here last time, I can't put that on there because I already thumb hole punched them. I'm gonna thumb hole punch it again or cut it with scissors. But anyway, I told the doctor, last time we were here, you did not examine my son. You don't usually examine my son. He's been sick for 5 months with the fever that you do not know what the cause of it is. And when you didn't examine him, he went to ENT the next day and they told him he had thrush, which is a fungal infection in the mouth. I'm like, could you please start examining my son every time he is here? Because if we didn't have the ENT appointment, he would have had to wait weeks before he saw a different doctor or you again so that you could help him, so that he could get treatment for this. I am. But the problem is when he's already sick, getting to a new primary care doctor, I'm cutting out my thumb notch again. Getting to a new primary care doctor when he is currently sick is hard because new patient appointments take a really long time in our state to get scheduled, like months to see a new patient, like for a new patient. I didn't wait for it to dry, and so of course it didn't cut perfect, but it will in a minute. So yeah, I had already talked to you guys about that, about like wanting to change and wanting to leave this healthcare group and all of those kinds of things. But it is harder because if you leave, it takes months to see someone new. And he's so sick that we can't just leave him with nothing. It peeled up a little bit right there. So, this is very frustrating. And so I was, that was not very nice to be like, look, hey, you're not doing your job and you missed this. I didn't phrase it exactly like that. I told you pretty much what I said to him. But anyway, it was a little frustrating. We just needed decorative element there. And I think, where did that little flower go that I cut out? This one? It's kind of red in tone. So this is going to be a super cute pocket. We're going to do that right there. Sorry for blabbing on about that so much, but it was very frustrating. So now I'm just kind of like, the doctor is annoyed with me. I can see it. I know he's annoyed with me. I'm annoyed with him. So this is what the doctor tells me. He says, I think you should take him to the ER because I think they will, not because he needs to go, not because he's dying, not because of anything like that. I think you will get the speed of results that you want more at the hospital than you will here. I'm like, maybe, but the hospital is a dangerous place to be if you do not actually need to be there, because there's germs at the hospital that are bad, like you can get other infections from being in the hospital. And yeah, we thought about taking him there so that they can run all the tests, and we still might end up having to go that route, but I would like to try to avoid it, just because the reason why he has thrush might be because he hasn't had any antibiotics for over a month now. So the doctor was trying to tell me it's from antibiotic use. And I'm like, well, maybe if he's had it for a month, in which case, he saw you 4 times, you probably should have been able to see he had thrush if he's seen you 4 times and he's had it since then. I'm like, but he hasn't had antibiotics for a whole entire month. Like, I can't do botanical with botanical. So anyway, I'll find a label for there. But I'm like, if his immune system is down, he could also get thrush. And so I don't want to take him to the hospital unless he really needs to go. Because while he's there, if he has a down immune system, people at hospitals are like prisons. They have their own illnesses that go around in the hospital. And those are usually very serious illnesses. So I love this little pocket. It is super, super cute. I think it needs to go there. And then for right here, all of this on this side really strengthened this. I mean, it's rag paper and it's thick, but it really did strengthen it. And we've got the envelope on this side. So this is a good place for a pocket because it's all, it's secure on there. So I like that. Plus we have blue here. So this is really coming out good. I think if I would have cut this as a corner tuck, I think I probably could get away with using it for same. Maybe because it is exactly the same, but I'm going to cut this one at a corner. And you're going to see with me whether or not we like it. So I'm lining up both corners of my paper to the cut edge as best as you can to get that little perfect corner tuck. So because now the pockets are not identical, I think you can get away with using the same paper. You guys see what I mean? It does, but he hasn't had antibiotics. He has not been on antibiotics for over a month. And he takes probiotic every day because his mother makes it. So, I mean, yes, it's still possible. I didn't say it wasn't possible. I just said I don't want to risk taking him to the hospital unless he really needs to go. And there is, you know, that risk of germs and stuff there at the hospital. So that to be considered. I do like that though. That's kind of cool. It's really purple on camera, but it's not purple in real life. It's the right shade. So let's see about putting something else there. And then I think we're going to wrap it up. I'm just going to finish this one project with you guys, and then I think we're going to wrap it. I don't want music paper because we already have music paper. I really wish I had brown. This is brown. But it's kind of florally too, though. I won't know until I try it. And I tore it the wrong way. So let's tear one the right way. I think just a little Florentine paper piece, maybe. And then a label. I don't really like the Florentine paper behind it. Let's save that for another project. How about ledger? I know there's ledger there, but I could use different ledger or that handwriting piece. Like here's a small strip of ledger. What about this little bit of handwriting? Do I want this handwriting? Can I get handwriting on there? I think I can. Let's do it. I need to speed it project along. I got to yapping. I don't know where my glue book went. I swear I lose that thing every 5 seconds. It's back underneath my keyboard tray, and I just stuck my arm in my glue. Yes, I did. The other option is I could flip it this way, but I don't know that I love the brown. It does look kind of the same tone in camera, but it's not really in real life. And this is our handwriting. And then where did this little label? No, I think I want the blue. Wait, is that the way I had it? It has to be. Okay. We're doing it. We're gluing it. I like the matchy-matchy as long as it's different pockets. I'm good with that. I'm going to move it up there a lot. There we go. And then we're going to stick this on. Rhea wasn't here to remind me to bring my craft mat, but I did remember all on my own. Hopefully she's proud of me. This is a straight edge right here, and I'm going to make it not straight edge. Perfect. Okay, let's trim off that. Let's glue these in, and then let's see where we're at. So I will see you guys on Tuesday was really the whole point of that, but I don't exactly know what time. I will schedule it for our normal time and then adjust it as I need to in the YouTube. So in the YouTube, that was funny. It's kind of like on the line. I actually said that one time on accident. It was very hilarious to my son. On the line, Mom? What? I say all kinds of stupid things, so nothing should surprise anyone at this point. There's that one and that one. And then while they look a lot the same right this very second, when they have tags or whatever, journal card, whatever's tucked in there, it's going to look very different too. So I'm okay. So guys, let's see what we did. I don't think we're done with this front one yet either, but for now we are. It needs a little label right down here. And I don't know the one that I want to use, so we left it for now. It needs a really nice press. We will make, just imagine that this is a tag. We will make a tag and put it in here. And you can see that this is coffee dyed so that there's coffee, or maybe you can't see, but there's coffee on the actual film, the glassine film of the envelope. So imagine that's a tag and it goes in the pocket. And then over here, we will also have a tag. I don't think this one's going to fit. It's not, it's too wide. But we will have a tag that goes in there. All of my tags are probably too wide to go in there. There we go. So we'll have a tag that goes in there. We'll have a journal card or tag that goes in here. And then over here, we just have this. We could have made it another tag if we wanted to. And then this. Right here, I feel like would be a good place for just a little light stamp or something. You don't have to, but I might add something there, or I might leave it. I don't know. But there's that little guy. So it's a whole like interactive little thingy here. You could have done a whole lot more than that. I might come up and put like a little German scrap or something else up higher on this page. I won't know that until I put whatever we end up putting in there. So there's that. We glued that in and we made a whole bunch of pockets. These are the pockets we made. Again, I made this one for inside of here, which I think I'm in love with. I think it's gorgeous. He needs a label still. That's the only reason why he's not being glued in right now. He's going to go there. I have some corner pockets cut out of that we can use in this one or a different one since I already used that. We'll finish sewing those, or I will finish sewing those, and I'm going to put some scripty stamp in the background white areas of these. It's just a little too white for me, and I don't have that scripty stamp in here. Then we made this pocket. We made these pockets. We have collage. I'm going to thumb hole punch these. All of these will have labels. We made a collage masterboard, which left us with some tags and possibly journaling cards. We made all of these, which will be pockets. If I didn't want to make them pockets at this point, they could just be journaling cards, and you would add coffee dyed paper to the back. So in order to make this a journal card, don't fold it over, don't thumb hole punch it, and back it with coffee dyed paper. Very, very simple. If you're using a thick rag paper like this, you don't have to glue 2 book pages together if you're going to put coffee dyed paper back here anyway, because the second paper would be your coffee dyed paper, if that makes sense. So if you want to make some journal cards and tags ahead of time for next time, that's where I will be working next time. Hopefully I finish all of this and get all of my pockets sewn in to all 3 journal, or pockets sewn in, pockets glued in to all 3 journals, so that when I come back with you next Friday, all the pockets will be in, all the signatures will be sewn in, all of the collaging on the inside covers will be done, and then we will only have journal cards and tags and, you know, things that go in pockets left to do as far as ephemera goes. We might work on like a belly band or some other kind of element, but my goal is to have all 3 of mine completely up to having the pockets glued in, so that I can just work on making the things to fill the pockets next time with you guys. Then the next time after that, I think, is our last time. Let me look at the calendar. I think the next time, so for the 23rd, which is next Friday, tags and journal cards and things that go in pockets. On the 30th, it is literally our last time. And the 30th will be, if I haven't already and did a video, decorating the cover, putting the finishing touches on it, and putting the finishing touches on all of the pages and other things. When I do the pockets and the tags and the journal cards, even if all of that was done, my journal would not be complete until I went through and put finishing touches on. and I will show you guys and walk you through exactly my process of how to finish off all of the pages, the whole entire journal, everything on the 30th. So hopefully you guys had fun. She got the journal made. Yay! Well, Sandy, the good news is these videos will stay up on my channel forever. So you don't have to work at the same pace as, I am. But the videos will stay up forever. So you can come and watch them if you want anytime and, continue to work on your journal. Just because, hello, JMac, thank you. Just because I am, or I might be done by the 30th, then that doesn't mean you have to be. You can work at your own pace and be done whenever. If it takes you till December, it takes you to December. It doesn't matter. The next journal kit that I'm working on, you still will be able to do anything that I do in that journal in this journal. It doesn't mean, that just because I call it an Italian ladies journal, that it, is only for this journal. The things I make next time for whatever journal it is that we make together next time, you can just put them in there. Like, you can still come to craft with me and be working on Italian ladies when I'm working on a different journal. It doesn't matter. Very productive with company. Funny. So thanks for joining me. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And like I said, I'll see you on Tuesday. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, I will try to put the Facebook link in. I don't know how many of you guys need the Facebook link, but the Facebook group is called Junk Journal Makers. Let me go get my group link and I'll put it in for anyone who wants it. Most of you guys are already members of the group, but I'll put it in there just in case. And then anyone who's not a member, if you join the Facebook group, what the Facebook group is all about, basically staying in touch, but also you guys will be able to show your work. It doesn't matter whether it's this journal or not. You can show a Tim Holtz journal that you made. You can show a tag that you made. You can show something that you slow stitched, or a quilt that you made, or flowers that your husband got you. It doesn't matter what you show. You can just say hello or introduce yourself or whatever. But posting in the group helps us all get to know each other. Thank you, Christy. I appreciate that. I really do. So does he. Thank you. But it helps us to get to know each other. It helps us to support each other. I really, really, really hope to, at some point this weekend, get the rack list and the birthday list up in the Facebook group. It's just a matter of time, and I haven't had a chance to do it, but I hope over the weekend I'll be able to get those up in the Facebook group. So then you'll be able to, not to give me your private information, and it won't be posted public. It will say PM me. So send me a private message with the month you were born and the day you were born, so that I can post in the group happy birthday to you on your birthday. And then usually everyone else says happy birthday. So, it's good to get to know each other, and it's good to know when your birthday is so that we can celebrate it together. We do spend quite a bit of time together, so I should at least know when your birthday is. I hate finding out after the fact, and Facebook does a terrible job at telling me when your guys' birthdays is. It used to pop up and say, hey, it's so-and-so's birthday, and it stopped doing that for me. So maybe it's a setting that I need to fix. But pictures of your quilt. Yes, Christy, pictures of your quilt. It can be, hey, look, I went to the flea market and I found this amazing antique chair, and show it in the group. Here's the thing. Everyone in the group is nice, and everyone in the group wants to support each other. So when you post, everyone's going to be kind to you and support you. So don't be afraid to post, I guess is my point. It can be anything. And yeah, it's just fun. It's a safe group. It's private, so that only people that we invite and that, are in our community are in there. Only people that are in our group can see what you post. No one else can. And so, yeah, there's the Facebook group. So hopefully I get those other things in it. Good night, everyone. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for joining me for Craft with Me, and I hope to see you guys on Tuesday. Bye, guys. And if you need anything over the weekend, or you have any questions, send me a message on Facebook. Facebook. Facebook Messenger. Fake book just came out. Facebook Messenger is the easiest way to get a hold of me. I will be invoicing for everything from this week Tuesday's sale over the weekend, and so look for those invoices if you are waiting on one, and I will ship on Monday if you pay. Thanks so much. Bye. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.